Hello. Welcome everybody. I'm just waiting for the data to be sent across all the boards here.
This is interesting how this is. Like the timer's no longer in the corner, it's up in the middle now. Like it's like it did
Oh
updates.
yeah.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
things on my screen are a little bit different now.
Yeah. All right. We are good across the board. Welcome to a special Tuesday edition of What's the Scoop. Scoop is of course dealing with a friend's unfortunate passing. So we wish him the best. As he's in your neck of the woods, Brandon, for the funeral. But to replace him, Shane was kind enough to join us because we just did wiffle ball. So Shane is here. Hi. How are you, man?
I just kind of came in on a whim, but
How are you, man? It's been a while since we've had you on the pod because we haven't been able to do
There's
FAH
Scoop.
in a while. What? Hey,
I know
There's
Scoop.
Scoop.
has been.
Yeah, Scoop. Shane, you're filling in for Scoop. How does it feel to be back on the mic? It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've been enjoying the World Cup. So we haven't gone on FAH in a while.
It has been a while.
How are you doing, my man? Good.
Yeah. No, it's good. I figured I would get a little bullpen run in there before we jump into more shows.
He just missed me. That's all it was. He missed me.
Well, that's true. I mean, how could you not? But,
I know.
Yeah. So our first thing for today,
Anyways,
I'm mad at Brandon because he's wearing stars and stripes in a day that does not deserve stars and stripes. Look, okay.
Every day deserves stars and stripes.
Okay, look, guys.
Not in Rod's mind.
Oh my God, no. On one hand, this team had a good tournament, okay? But on the other, another round of 16 exit. And I've talked to Shane about this for years. I said it on this show multiple times. I'm not going to say the youth movement, the youth thing needs to be better, all that stuff. I've talked about that millions of times. I don't know what to do anymore. I almost want to blow it up. I'm done. I'm actually done with this national team, and I'm finished. I'm so over this just incredible lack of anything, because Brandon, we were watching them, in the pre-run to the World Cup, and we're like, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's nothing. I mean, you're playing C+ team Portugal, C+ team Belgium, and it's nothing. And then we play the A team of Belgium, and look what happens. As good as this team did, what will they remember for? Losing in the round of 16 horribly to Belgium. So let's focus on that. At some point, and this is the point, people got to realize that the problem isn't Pochettino, because I think he did a great job fixing the culture. The problem is this federation doesn't know their head from their ass, because they don't. The guy who was leading the federation, who picked up Pochettino, left a month before the World Cup to coach to head Saudi Arabia. So don't have a leader of the. By the way, U.S. Soccer Federation, I'm here. Please give me the job. I will change this thing in 10 years. I'm sorry. I've talked about this multiple times, and I'm not going to go in depth on everything. But these players are not good enough to beat top-tier European competition. They're not good. They're not good enough to beat European competition. The lackadaisical defense. It was despicable yesterday. Yesterday. It was despicable. Defense, despicable. Black line, despicable. Matt Freeze, what are you doing, my man? Just pick the ball up. I could go through many individual things, but the reality is, this is what this team has been since 2016, since this new crop came in 2016. This is what it has been. This kind of performance is what it's been. If you haven't watched this U.S. team for the last 10 years, if this is your first time like really rooting for this team, that's what this team is. That's what this team showed in the run-up. That's what this team has showed since 2016. That's what it has been. Just absolute disgusting garbage. All I wanted was a 2-1 loss, and they couldn't even give me that. You had 4-1, the most disgusting thing. I am disgusted. I'm done. If Pochettino leaves, fine. It's his choice. He's not under contract. It's his choice. This entire federation needs a remake. I don't think anyone in this federation cares about this team's results because I don't know what's going to happen in 2028 if we play in Copa America. If that happens and we get it here, I don't know what happens in 2030. I have no confidence. I am tired of this team losing in the round of 16. I am tired of the garbage knockout stage games. I am done. I can't do this anymore. This is hell. It's honestly hell watching this team. It's hell watching what was considered to be our golden generation, led by Christian Pulisic, who has his legs don't work anymore. What are we doing? I don't understand. I'm disgusted. I'm done. I'm done. I don't care. I want to watch the women's team next year. Even if the women's team loses, at least it would be better than what we just saw. I am disgusted. I'm done. I cannot keep talking about this team if all you're going to show me is losing in the round of 16. Frick off. Either you fix this federation, you fix this men's team, or we don't talk. Because I'm done. I've followed this team since 2010, and this is all I've seen. And by the way, the guys, Landon Donovan, Tim Howard, Josie Altidore, the guys who laid this foundation for you to succeed, guess what? You failed them too. And it's not on Pochettino. It's on you guys. It's on every single player on that pitch yesterday. Even Tillman, honestly, who played well. This is your fault. Because if I'm leading, I'm changing. I'm done with this 11. I want it changed completely. I don't care if MLS play. I don't care. I'm done with this 11. Bring me something new. Let's start from square -1 again. Like we did 10 years ago. I'm finished. Because this is what this team's going to be remembered for, not the good. This. So Brandon, if you want to say your piece, I'm pissed. I'm so done.
You know, that Patrick's funny. He said you should watch the games out here sipping a Mai Tai. But you know, I would love to say I'm an outsider, even though yes, I am an American also. But when it comes to international soccer, I root for Portugal. But from the outside looking in, one of the reasons I root for Portugal, besides just bloodline, heritage, it's also because why should I root for the United States? And when it comes to international soccer, when it comes to the men's side, why should I care if this team gives us nothing to be happy about? Like, it's when you have, it's like, are they very talented for a U.S. Kind of standpoint? Yes, but here's the problem, and this is a big problem. The United States, I don't think ever, outside of a few great players and a few golden moments, the United States does not care about soccer, and it's pretty clear from leadership on down. The players that they find to fill out the rest of the roster outside of a couple great players is a bunch of crap. The U.S. system, like coming up, like these guys,
we've talked about it over and over again how awful it is.
There really
how much
is
money
no system.
it is. There's no system.
Like, I would care about soccer more if this wasn't the fifth sport in America at best, and if it wasn't for the fact that we just like if the federation showed, and if this country funded it better, if everybody showed they cared about U.S. soccer more, I'd have a reason to watch it. But it's like when other countries are not even so much better, they are far better than the U.S. It's like,
and by the way, we're 16th in the world, which is not bad.
It's not bad.
You can't keep losing in the round of 16 if you want to improve it. You can't.
Yeah.
You just can't keep doing it every time.
Like, realistically, if you want to be a contender in international soccer, you basically have to try to find a way to crack that top 10. That's basically where you want to be. And I mean, hell.
And Patrick said, and I want to iterate this really quick. Why is there no system? There is a system. It's called the MLS youth system. The youth system is broken. It costs you 1.5K a season to take your 12-year-old out to play soccer. 1.5K a year. What? Why? Let the kids play.
Meanwhile, you can play Little League baseball for like $60 a season. So, like when I was growing up, you got a registration fee. You signed your kid up, and it was about $50-$60 to play Little League baseball.
And if you want to play semi-pro or like semi-pro in the youth level soccer, like pretty competitive soccer, you got to pay 1.5K.
Yeah,
it's no.
And the thing is, why would you do that also in America, where there's not much money to be made in soccer versus football, baseball, basketball, even hockey? Like, there's so much more money to be made in the big four sports in America than there is in soccer. Like, it's just the truth. So it's all about revenue. It's all about TV deals, especially like the U.S. is basically at the forefront of like, oh, it's all about the mighty dollar. It's all about doing things the good old United States way. Yeah, football and beer, like that kind of stuff. But it's soccer is just it's hard to convince people. It's the same way when we show American football to other countries and they don't care about it. It's no different here when we show people here soccer. People here don't care. Just like people over there will not care about our sports. Like the only, I think, sport outside of soccer that translates well to most of the world, not just a couple of countries or a few countries, but most of the world, is probably basketball.
Yeah, basketball has been huge.
Because you've got the Russians involved in it, you've got the Europeans involved in it, the South Americans are involved in it, the Central Americans are involved in it.
Europe has literally changed the NBA. The best players are from Europe now.
Yeah. So like basketball, yeah, you've got baseball, but baseball is mostly the Hispanic countries, really. So you can't really say baseball. You can't say hockey. Not really. Basketball has the biggest outreach.
Yeah, hockey's like Nordic countries, basically.
Yeah. Or Russia, but that's really it. But when it comes to this whole group, this whole system of U.S. specifically men's soccer.
Yeah, because women's fun. It's fun. Like these women are great, and the game is growing at such a rapid rate internationally. The women's game is an amazing spot, and that was started here in America.
Yeah, it's just and you've also got to think too. Well, here's the thing too: the women had a better chance for their side of soccer to succeed because women's sports like women's for many years women's professional basketball and all these different and whatever and like hockey was not a thing. It was just really soccer. So soccer kind of took the forefront.
It was very underground, honestly.
Yeah,
for a while.
Like soccer was the one sport where it was like that was kind of like, I don't want to say it was the woman dominated field, but it was the one sport where they had more of an opportunity to succeed there. Whereas the men, it's like the men have opportunities in 4 other sports in America.
Yeah.
Before they even get to soccer.
Yeah.
So it's just so tough, when you're looking at and you got to also think too, is that for most Americans, because, you don't have to, I mean, not that it's not athletic, but you don't have to be the most athletic to play any of the major 4 sports. You do still have to have a lot of athleticism, but soccer conditioning, you've got to be super athletic.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that in America, most people are not.
Yeah.
So
and it's very skill based.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is still some crazy balances. There's a little bit of luck involved there, but a lot of our sports, football, there's a lot of luck involved. Baseball, sometimes there's just luck involved. Really,
baseball especially. there's
Yeah.
tons of luck involved.
Yeah, because you can have an expected batting average of like 350, but be batting 220 because of just you're freaking hitting lasers right at fielders. So it's like, but soccer's the one sport where it's like skill and conditioning and athleticism are extremely important. And it's just in America, not for nothing, but it's just true. When you have like an obesity rate where it's like 90% of the people in the US are considered
Yeah.
obese or
It's like a
overweight,
third.
you're not gonna get into soccer. You're gonna get more into basketball because size matters, or football because size matters.
Or
Like
baseball, or
yeah,
whatever.
like it's just there's a lot of factors going against not even just men's soccer, but soccer in general in this country. It just is. It's like it is hard to fix it, but it has to be because if you can figure out a way to get people involved in another sport, it'll just make everybody. It'll give young athletes another avenue if the other sports don't work for them or if they don't feel like trying that. Like because a lot of people, a lot of schools. I mean, it's true. I've seen high schools where that they don't even have soccer programs, for kids because it's dominated by other sports. The budget is for other sports. So it's really really tough when you kind of don't if you want to be a soccer player in the US, or a soccer player in general, if you're from the US, you have to go overseas. You just have to.
What bothers me again, and I know that that 10 is also right in here. Like Olympics is being taken over by China too, and Olympics is a whole another thing because it's just all these different sports together. But again, my biggest problem is our youth system. Why does it cost 1.5K to play competitive? Why are we so? Yeah, it's hockey as well. It bothers me. And Shane, you can speak to this as well. In your time with baseball, with Little League, and all this stuff, the processes of that is so different that it's like soccer. It's just okay. You can put cones as a net. You have a soccer ball. There it is. Even with baseball, it's like you have a bat, you have a glove, you're good to go. But they're two very different things from a youth perspective.
Yeah, or even football it costs zero to play. You register and pay and that's it. Like everything's provided for you, whatever. But it's the problem with soccer in the US is it doesn't matter who you get to manage the team. It doesn't matter what you do at the youth level or anything. As long as the NFL, NBA, MLB, and as long as they all exist, soccer is going to be an afterthought in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And that trickles down into the youth because in the United States, when you're a kid, it's not cool to play soccer. It's cool to play football or basketball or whatever. It's, whereas, I've been to Europe, I don't know, 5, 6 times. And every time I'm there, I like to go to, personally, I'm not a big fan of like the big cities there. I'll go to see them, but I want to get to like small towns where I can experience the culture and the people more, And every time I'm in Europe and I go to one of these small towns, there's always a pitch in the middle of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where all the kids in the town go there every night. Like that's just what you do. Like these kids in these other countries can dribble a soccer ball before they can read. Like it's it's just so it's like of course they're gonna beat the US because first of all, it's the only sport they play, but also they've been just playing it for so long, right? So you think about it, like especially for a skill-based sport, you got to kind of be working on it constantly, right? But a lot of times it's like, okay, they do their soccer for 3 months and then they move on to basketball or to baseball or whatever,
Yeah.
So, it's just like, it sucks, but it's like no matter what you do, at the institutional level, I mean, there's really not much that you can do.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I hear
you know,
you, but it's also like, okay, is anyone watching MLS? MLS is on at the worst times.
Oh,
Is anyone,
and that's
yeah,
right, and that's the other problem because Seattle, where Robert and I live, is probably the where soccer is most popular in the
I would say
United
so.
States,
Yeah.
here in
and
KC for sure. Here in Kansas
yeah,
City,
and even then, like people talk more about the Sonics than they do about soccer, and they've been gone 18 years. Like that, it's
right?
like that's just that just goes to show you how how much of a disconnect there is uh,
Well,
from
it's
that
also because
game.
MLS on Apple TV. I mean, nobody cares. And then I'm happy that we're going to the European system of spring summer because at least there's a window there.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah,
I should be starting in the fall and like going into the actual system that Europeans play. Does it help the MLS necessarily in terms of ratings? No, but the ratings have never been good. I yes, all of these things exist, and I'm not denying that they exist because they do. Obviously, America has all these other avenues and all these other sports, but I just cut through all that tape here. I don't think anyone in that federation actually cares about how well we do. Honestly.
Oh,
And
no,
that's ultimately out of everything else, that's what I think bothers me the most is that when it comes to the men's team, like, all right, we make the round of 16, we make a bunch of money, we lose the game and we move on. It's like at some point, just at some point, like they're you can't just sit back and make a ton of money and say, we're fine.
mhm.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Because I'm sitting here. I'm the person watching us play in CONCACAF Nations Leagues and Gold Cups every summer, and I'm like, I feel disconnected. I feel like no one's listening, and that's what my issue is ultimately. No, the only
the
person
pro-
who's listened is Pochettino, is our coaching staff.
yeah,
That's it. Because they had
Russell Crowe.
yes, Russell Crowe. They had to. He said this multiple times. He said, "I had to change this culture on my own with my staff." Why? Why? It boggles me. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, and I'm not gonna get over. I'm not the fact that I have to sit here on my ass for another 4 years, hoping that anything changes, is gonna piss me off every day for the next 4 years. It just will. It's gonna piss me off because this was also
The
in our
problem,
home country. It's
yeah,
unacceptable.
the problem is like no matter what the federation wants or doesn't want, or what their expectations are, it doesn't matter how. I mean, the federation can be full of Pochettino's, and I think it still doesn't change the core problem, which is that the United States, it's I mean you make a lot more money playing sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so that's just
Yeah,
what people are gonna do, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it
I
sucks,
I,
but
I
I
just
think
want.
it's
I
just
just. I'm sorry to interrupt, Shane, but I just want to
no, no,
live in a USA where it's just like, okay, let me put a soccer ball in front of you as a little kid. If you like it, cool. If you don't, you don't. But at least you can play.
Try it. Yeah.
That's what I'm upset with ultimately. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Oh, Alexi, we hate
no, it
Alexi
does.
Lawless. Please do not
Yeah.
mention his name. Patrick, Alexi Lawless has pissed us off
Yeah.
more than we can share. Speaking of the World Cup, Shane, your favorite broadcaster probably ever has been Zlatan Ibrahimovic because he has put some funny stuff out
I
that you
love that
really
guy. I see. I joke because you know I'm a Dane, right?
yeah, and
And
you didn't make the World
Zlatan
Cup this year,
is
unfortunately.
Swedish,
So
and yeah, don't remind me. But no, but Denmark and Sweden have always kind of had a little rivalry going on, So I joke that he's like the only Swedish guy I like. But anyways,
Yeah, he's made some funny
but
content.
no, that dude's so funny. I just like every time I'll be scrolling through Reddit or whatever because that's pretty much my only social media. Is it's like I'll see a video of him and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Like when she was saying like you got to share some of your followers, and he goes, I don't have followers, I have believers. It's like it's just so funny. Anyways,
Zig, I'll comment on the first thing. My biggest thing with the NFL and with any sport is that they're all just trying to go to streaming now.
Yeah.
That's kind of my biggest issue with sports in general now. But
Well,
it's a
like,
okay,
other
speaking-
flavor.
yeah.
speaking of Nordic countries,
Yes.
can we talk about Norway for a second?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Because, dude, like, why? I said this in the chat the other day. I was like, why couldn't Holland have been a Dane? He was
He's
so
so
close,
funny
but
on social media too.
yeah, he's hilarious. But like, wow. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, now that because my teams are Denmark, Hungary, U.S. They're out now, so like
They're done.
So now I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah, let's go Norway. Like,
I think the world, like, if you're not a fan of the other 7 teams remaining, everybody else is a fan of Norway right now. Everybody's like, go for it.
Norway is so fun offensively, not just Holland, but I can't think of the other guys, but that whole front line is so fun. They're just so good.
And their goal is really good too.
Their goal is really
they're
good as
freaking
well. Yeah.
6 foot.
I forget his name, but
4. What are they? They're 6'4", 6'5" Vikings that take no shit. Like they there's no fear in that country whatsoever. None.
And he's 25. I mean, he's got another 10, 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I remember when he first signed for Man City at like 17, 18 or whatever signed in. It was like people were going crazy. And he's backed it up, obviously. Norway's been fun. I don't even know where to start with Argentina because that VAR call was like either do VAR right or don't do it at all. Either ref the game right or don't do it all. The amount of times that we talk about this for every sport is like disgusting at this point. But
Argentina is just the Messi show. Let's be honest.
Oh no, and I'm not saying it isn't.
Like he's carrying that team.
Yeah,
which is crazy for his age.
I hate to be this way, but I also am clearly like they're just trying to get Argentina in the final.
Oh, it's so obvious.
It's so blatant.
To like we had
today was a perfect example.
But today was like the confirmation of like, yeah, man, like you can't make this anymore. I even said it. Remember when we were on the phone watching this game?
We were on the phone watching the game in the morning. Yeah.
I even said once they got the first goal, I said, "Why?" I said, "Here it comes." I said, "Here it comes." I'm like, there's no way now. Like once, like, because Argentina is the only team that can score like 3 goals in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, but they'll do it in the most controversial fashion ever and piss everybody off. And it's like everybody has a right to be pissed because no other team is getting this much help. Like, this is what we complain about, or almost, if not worse, because this is a World Cup and more eyes are watching this. This is what we complain about in the NFL with the Chiefs. But
yeah, funny enough, it's very similar. Yeah,
but this is actually worse because it's obviously a way bigger event. So it's just, but today watching that game, like, I'm sorry, but VAR, where like VAR makes sense if a score to me, like the way you make VAR better, because they say, oh, if it directly leads to a goal. If the potential foul directly leads to a goal, whatever it is, right?
But how far back are you gonna take it?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because I'm like,
because the more I watched it today, because when we originally saw it, I was like, okay, by the letter of the law, it's the right call. But then when I watched it over and over and listened to Dr. Joe Macknick talk about it and the Fox crew, and they're talking about it, I'm like, okay, but what's the limit of VAR then? Is it carte blanche? Or is it like, anyway, you can lead with that. That's what bothered me.
Like, the thing is like the problem is with a lot of FIFA's rules is that there's just too much gray area in it.
There's way too much. Yeah.
There's I understand that the game is supposed to be simple. It's called the beautiful game. All this other stuff. It's supposed to be like simplistic. But the thing is, the game has to evolve with time, but the way in which they're doing it is not right. And I look at VAR. Where it's like a ticky tack foul that happens on the complete other side of the pitch. And then a goal is scored literally 30 seconds later, 45 seconds later. That has no impact on the goal whatsoever to me.
When I kept watching it, I was like, there's no reason for that to be called back.
So it's
there's no reason. It's inconsistent then.
So yeah.
But
you know what it is too is like, okay, so let's say that foul happens. Let's say that Egypt doesn't push up, but they start pushing up the pitch. They get attacking. They get all the guys up, attacking. Then they cross it into the box. Then they score a goal. All right, and let's say that happens a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, whatever it is. Are you going to take that back because of a stupid foul that happened 2 minutes ago?
Or that's what VAR is supposed to be for some reason.
But how is that fair? At that point, how is that fair? It's like, I get what the rules are meant to be, and I understand that, but we need less gray area of
we need
the timing of it.
Yeah, we need concrete. I've realized why people in England are pissed at VAR. It's because of this. It's because of this. It's because it's just so. I get it now. I get it even more than I did before.
The biggest problem I have with FIFA's rules is that a lot of the rules are not simple of what's a foul and what's not. There are some of those, but a lot of their rules are timing based. And I don't like that because timing is such a gray area that I'm like, how do you officiate something based on timing? You know? That's why I'm just like, to me, it's like, if you want to eliminate, VAR stepping in on that goal and having any say on that goal, if you are going to make it timing based, it needs, and they're saying, if it leads to a direct, goal, but that's not direct. A foul that happens all the way on the other side of the pitch at the other end line near the box has no impact on a goal going the complete other way.
I think the thing that I'm trying to figure out is run of play. What's a run of play? That's what it should be. It should be, if it's deemed a run of play foul, we shouldn't have VAR intervene. If it's a serious foul, then it should intervene. That's what I think it should be. Because it's like the refs determine advantage based on run of play.
Yeah.
So VAR should also have that same thing. Shane, what is your overall thought process on this World Cup as a whole? Just from your perspective and watching some of the games, tracking it, what is your overall thought process so far? I know we had our games in Seattle. That's over with. So
yeah. Well, here's what I think. I think, first of all, 48 teams is too many.
I still feel that way, even though Stern's been good. I've switched. I think it's a mess.
Yeah. Thank you. And then no, and then yeah, and it's become incredibly clear in this World Cup how just how inconsistent FIFA is with stuff like VAR and the Balogun red card being overturned the day before,
which was just stupid
match. It's so much stuff that's like it just feels so much like they're being way too easily persuaded by different people, and just it's so many things that are just wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's so that's been kind of frustrating. But now, you know, getting into the quarterfinal, unfortunately, it's kind of all the usual suspects, but
Yep.
except Norway, and which is cool. But
I would say Norway and Switzerland are the two I didn't expect.
yeah,
Switzerland.
that's
I
Switzerland too
I
Well,
has.
actually, I had Norway going far. I did.
I that Switzerland Colombia game was the most bored I've been in a while. That was really boring for a 0-0. That was boring.
Yeah,
Um, sorry to finish that off, Vancouver. I I've been pissed at FIFA for a long time.
Yeah.
oh, I
They're
know.
they're just they're just corrupt, and it's very clear
Yeah,
that they're corrupt. And Infantino, the amount of games, the amount of times I have to see this. The worst part about this World Cup is the amount of times I've had to see that dude's face. I
Did
have
you
to
did
see.
you did you see how nervous he looked when Egypt went up 2-0? Or
Oh
actually
yeah,
went or even after Messi got the penalty kick blocked. Like,
he's literally just rooting for ratings. It's like, dude, it's the World Cup. You're gonna get ratings anyway. Relax, dude.
yeah.
It's ridiculous. All right, Brandon, Portugal. Moving forward without Ronaldo. You have Euro 2028 in the UK, and then you
Mhm.
have obviously the World Cup in Portugal. Um, what does the future look like now
I
post Ronaldo?
it's weird. I mean Ronaldo's not going to play another World Cup. He said that. We know that. But he just said World Cup. He didn't say international. So
Yeah, it's not international retirement like Neymar said.
so so you know, he could play another UEFA Nations tournament.
The UEFA Nations League starts promptly late September, so he
Yeah,
could do a few
which I
matches
think is a
there.
big possibility, and I would like to see him still wear the Portuguese, crest. I still want to see that. Um, I I still think he might give it one more Euro. I don't think that's out of the cards. Um, I you know because I mean, listen, at 41, he's still in great shape, and I fully believe with a new manager, I just want to see what that would look like with him in it, no matter how old he is. Um, because I need to see more attacking football than what the best midfield in the world did in this tournament. Um, because I'm sorry, but I do not care about the awards and the accolades that Vitinha and Bruno Fernandez and all them are racking up when it comes to playing for their country, and it seems like they're gutless and have no pride, and it's pretty obvious in their play. Um, there's so many times where, and I've sent you a bunch of highlights where people are saying, "Oh, and before I get to the future of Portugal, because this kind of will lead into it." But there was times in this tournament where I went. I mean, I even saw plays just like my friends did. I'm like, I don't care if Ronaldo's 41 and doesn't have the speed to beat guys. He's making a run into the box where there's not a defender that close to him, where if he gets the ball, it's going in the back of the net and they're not giving him the ball. I'm not saying you have to feed every ball to him because that was a problem with past Portuguese teams. But if he's open and making a run into the box, you need to get him that damn ball. I don't care how you get it, it needs to be going to him. It could because passing the ball just side to side and making 3 foot passes back and forth to each other like you're playing in a parking lot garage is not the way to play Portuguese soccer. It's not the way to play soccer in general. So it's if and I don't care. Like honestly, to me, I don't like. We all knew Roberto Martinez was leaving, regardless of the outcome of this tournament. So if I was one of those Portuguese players, I would say forget his system. Just go out and play your brand of football. Because I guarantee you, if they went out there with that mindset of we're going to play our style, our game, the team would still be playing right now. And I I just can't understand, and and not for nothing, but what a lot of the players kind of said, not everybody, but a lot of the players echoing the sentiments of we don't care about Ronaldo anymore, or we don't care, on this team. You are disrespecting. Listen, regardless of how anyone feels about Ronaldo, you're disrespecting one of the greatest players to ever touch a soccer ball. You are disrespecting somebody who paved the generation of soccer fans and players, paved the way for them across the world in the last 20 years, if and actually more, almost 25. You are talking about a player that, and he says on multiple occasions, and you can see it in the passion he has for his country, that he would die for his country at this international level. So for them to basically slap him in the face and disrespect him, honestly, anybody that said that moving forward, you should never be called up to the national team ever again. If that's
A lot of the youth players said it throughout this
if
tournament,
that's
which was kind of appalling, honestly.
if that's how you're going to react to basically the man that is basically the father of all of you, the reason why you are here, that's beyond disrespectful. I don't want anybody that even echoed those sentiments, which Bruno Fernandez did. So if I don't care about how skilled he is. Get the hell off my national team. Because if you're going to disrespect a guy that basically put you here, I don't want you here. And that's why, to me, I think that because of Ronaldo's legacy, Portugal will. I don't think Portugal will experience a down period like everybody kind of people across the world think they might. He's inspired so many Portuguese players that are still coming through the system that I don't think Portugal's done by a long shot. I don't think so at all. And it's like, yeah, you don't have him, but how many times have we said this though? That when he's off the pitch, they play better, actually.
They did
So
for the
so
last couple years. Yeah,
so it's like I don't think that Portugal is going to struggle without him. I think they'll actually learn how to play better as a team without him. And I think that, I just I really think he'll give it a couple more go. I think he'll at least play this UEFA Nations tournament, because it's right there. It's coming up right there. So I don't think it's and like I said, he didn't say that he was done with international tournaments. He just said the World Cup. So you know, last dance in terms of a World Cup, yeah, that's sad, but I don't think it's his last dance for Portugal. And obviously, we know it's not his last dance for club competition because he wants the 1,000 goals. So, we know that he's not done. But but I think moving forward, I'm excited to finally have a manager after this that will prioritize attacking football because that's what the Portuguese should be doing because they have speed, they have precision, they have good vision. Like
not just boring midfield dink and dunks that we saw in this tournament.
because this has been a problem with the Portuguese national team since Fernando Santos, and well, even going back before him, even where it is too much defensive. It's too defensive focused, and it is too midfield focused. Or it's like, and like you're like when you have an attacking midfielder, and you have a bunch of great attacking midfielders. Why are you taking the half of their title away from them and just making them midfielders? Because there's no attacking on this Portuguese team. So I'm excited to finally have a manager. And I think Jorge will get it right. But because I believe they're basically getting ready to confirm him as the new Portuguese manager.
We'll probably see in the next 24 hours. Yeah.
I really, really think that, and especially because he's Portuguese himself, he comes literally from the mainland. He can relate to the players. He might be a little bit older, but the thing is, this team also, with this generation of players, needs that kick in the ass. There's a lot of selfish guys on this Portuguese squad that they need a little bit of a humbling because they seem to not really care about where they finish in international tournaments. and they seem to just have this really cocky air about them, and it's cost them a lot in the last, really, you know, what 10 years really since the Euro, since the win over France, which wasn't even a great game in itself.
Pretty ugly.
Yeah, they've definitely underachieved the last 10 years.
It's like, you know, we've seen so many. Like if you would have had the problem with Portugal to me, it's just twofold. It's the players just being either too selfish and just cocky. And I think it's just not having the right manager and the right system in place for the talent you have. And it's just because on paper, this team should have finished no less than a semifinals appearance. Just a fact. And to be knocked out in the round of 16, which what I think Ronaldo in his international career with Portugal, I think they've only gotten as far as what the quarterfinals. I think with him in a World Cup.
I think this is
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds right.
from my recollection. Yeah.
So like, and it's not even, and a lot of it's not his fault. I mean, this is a guy who quite literally has the most goals internationally ever for a player. So like, a lot of people will sit there, and I think a lot of commentators that did this too, and they still do this, where it's like they'll blame Ronaldo for the Portuguese shortcomings. He's the last guy you should blame. Honestly, does he have his faults? There's sometimes in big games over the years that he not finished when he probably should have. Yeah, but every great player. I mean, Messi missed a penalty kick, which he's done a lot.
Messi's missed two.
He's missed a lot. And if you go back to all the international tournaments combined and that he's played in, he's missed a lot of penalty kicks. A lot of them.
A lot of crucial ones too.
And a lot of big ones. But, so I'm like, I don't like the discourse between those two about how Ronaldo's just a penalty kick taker. I'm like, yeah, he's better than Messi at it, so I wouldn't, sit there and make fun of Ronaldo for that. But it is definitely when I think about just moving forward, there's just a few guys. I mean, we still have probably another World Cup in us where this golden generation will still be a thing. It'll still be,
especially at home.
Yeah, and especially at home. And I still think that, and I think obviously like if this team just changes their mindset on how to play the game, like, because these are players that when they go back to their clubs, they play the style their style that they're comfortable with, that they know the best, and it's like they get the best results out of it. They become players of the year in their respective leagues, or the team's player of the year, wherever they're at. But I will say one thing: the game, honestly, Portugal didn't play well attacking wise at all yesterday, but the game definitely changed regardless when Nuno Mendes went down.
Yeah.
When he went down,
yeah.
I even said the game was over. Once he went down, the game was over, because when you bring in Semedo to take over for him, now Semedo's not a bad defender, but he's not Nuno Mendes, and not just that, but Nuno Mendes can literally strip you of the ball defensively and then fly down the pitch and create a chance, or shoot from long distance and score. He's probably your best two-way defender in the world, and probably top 5 defender in the world. So when he went down, you could see Portugal just had no game plan at that. Like, there was nothing that at that point they just didn't expect him to go down and had no backup plan for him. I will say the one thing I do give them credit for yesterday was, once again, they still managed to shut down Lamine Yamal.
Which is insane.
Yeah, they've done it twice now. They did it last year in the UEFA Nations final, and they did it yesterday.
I'm not expecting Belgium to do that on Friday. I'm not expecting it at all.
But but as far as we go, this team, once again, even without Ronaldo, are still too talented to let it go to waste. I mean, I would think that the next Euro run they have, They should still be one of the favorites because in the Euro, you're not playing, you're like, yeah, you're going to play against, the clubs that you would normally see. But I think if you play a better brand of football, a better attacking style, I think Portugal will be fine in the Euro. I think that, in the World Cup, you have the home field advantage. So, and people always say that doesn't matter as much. It does. If you are a good country at soccer, like
Ask Mexico. That was one of the greatest home field advantages we've ever seen.
yeah, they just blew it against England. That's basically what it was. But I did say England was going to beat them.
If you haven't seen the video of Harry Kane talking like Ernie from Sesame Street, you should look at it.
It's fantastic.
It's so good.
But,
it's so good.
Yeah, but like when you have a soccer country, home field advantage means everything. And and I still believe that that's true even when it comes to even for our sports like football. I still believe that if like I've always said when it comes to any of our teams, you guys with the 12th man or Philadelphia in January, those are hell to play in for teams. It's absolute hell. So but when it comes to soccer, a game that's so visible that everybody watches in the world, unless you're in the U.S. because we just don't care about it. The home field advantage is even more magnified. So I think I think going forward, I think Portugal will be fine without Ronaldo. I don't think there's going to be a fall off. I'd be shocked if there was. And I trust in, I still trust in what's left of this core. I still think that now with Ronaldo gone, Gonzalo Ramos is a more than capable striker. I mean, he's obviously not Ronaldo, but he's a more than capable striker. You have other guys that can still create if given the chance. And I mean, I want to see more Rafael Leao because he's a game changer when he's on the pitch. He's so fast and he's just so, he can beat anybody down the wing. It doesn't matter who the hell it is.
Yeah.
The only person he probably couldn't beat, which I would love to see like in training, I would love to see him go against Nuno Mendes because
God.
That's one of the fastest players in the world against one of the best defenders in the world. I would love to see that, but there's still so much talent on this Portuguese team that they still have enough to like. I'm never gonna like. I don't look at Portugal, despite all their shortcomings in big tournament, in the world. Well, not big tournaments because they've won a Euro, they've won 2 UEFA Nations, finals. So other tournaments, are fine. But when it comes to the World Cup, I don't want to say Portugal is never going to win one because it's Portugal. Ronaldo put them on the map. It's up to them to sustain it, and they have such talent and depth that they will. But I just don't. It's hard though. I will say yesterday to see him leave the pitch in tears, knowing that was his last World Cup. And, there's nobody who's honestly, I think, unless you would consider maybe obviously the other 2 greats that are up there, obviously Messi and Pele, nobody's given more to their country. But the thing is you also got to think about it this way too. If you really look into Ronaldo's story and how he came up, and all the adversity he overcame to become one of the greatest of all time, it's arguably the greatest soccer story ever. And it's just, see you, Patrick.
See ya.
But
Patrick was yelling in the chat about his dinner, which I think
that was yesterday though. I mean, hell, even like I've always said, like, when Mariano Rivera retired, I cried. When Derek Jeter retired, I cried. Like, when Ronaldo says he's done, and you look at him crying, leaving the pitch, how can you not be upset?
Yeah,
like,
I think we'll see that with Messi too.
Yeah.
Shane, do you have any like major retirements that hit you hard? Like Russell Wilson, I know didn't hit you that or hit you a little bit.
Well, yeah, because that was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, going straight to the broadcast booth
but I mean,
broadcast studio.
Even like even me as a Yankee hating Mariners fan, I still seeing Jeter's walk-off hit, I I was like, yeah, because it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Jeter. Like,
I mean,
it's
well, you know what's cool? You know what's cool about Derek too? When you see that last game, the last series he plays at Fenway, and all the Red Sox fans give him a standing ovation. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like
That's
you would never see
mean,
that in an
that just goes to show.
opposing team.
Yeah, like that just goes to show the kind of because he played the game right, and yeah, and
especially in what was basically the steroid era for a period there
Yeah.
too. So,
right,
yeah.
and he always stayed loyal to his one team, and so yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the other one for me was Drew Brees.
Yeah, I know
Because
you love Drew.
we knew that was going to be like that was one where I was like, okay, we knew for sure it was like this is it.
Yeah,
But seeing
especially
that
with his
last-
arm too. Especially with his arm
Yeah.
too.
And so seeing that, I still remember when he was that last drive in that playoff game, and I texted you, Robert. I said, "Is this the last series we're going to see of Drew?" And you said,
Yeah,
"Yes, it is." And
it absolutely
I
is.
was like-
We knew for sure. By
I
that
was
point.
like, "Damn."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's probably others that are like that.
I don't have too many that come up on it. I think my first one is gonna be when LeBron retires. And that's gonna be next year. Like when no matter where he goes, and I'm keeping an eye on my phone, hours on end, just waiting for him to sign, and we'll know sooner rather than later. But that will be his last year. This will be it. So no matter how it ends, I that's probably gonna be the first one for me, just because he's like a big reason why I'm like into basketball,
Yeah.
like why I love hoops the way I do. I know I'm Michael Jordan back there, but I mean, LeBron's always been my favorite.
It's like,
so that's probably gonna be the one where it like hits me the most.
Or Kobe's last game, that was emotional too.
I've always had an issue with that game, and I always will. Just because they gave him the ball and said, just go have fun. And I was like, okay.
He still shot well for what it was worth.
I never
he scored
felt
60.
he scored 60, but he missed like a ton. I don't know. I always have an issue with that game because it just wasn't a basketball game. It's just like, it wasn't a basketball
shots
game.
to get there though. You still have to,
I'm one of the few people that's like, I'll always defend that game as like that was just a stupid way to end his career. And honestly, like I know he wanted to be a Laker for life, but I really wanted to see him be on one competitive roster towards the end. At least I think that's where the salt comes from. It's like it was nothing by the end. I mean he got nothing by the end. So yeah, that's how the Kobe thing that last year. I just was like, it meant nothing to me because I was like, all right, this team is just bad. At least LeBron wants to go, and again, it's not Kobe's fault. He always wanted to be with the Lakers, but at least LeBron is very much like, I want to go to a contender. I want to compete at least. Which the Lakers, it's more on the Lakers than it is on Kobe that they just never gave him a roster that could do that, especially after Nash and Howard left.
I still can't believe LeBron was a Laker for 8 years. It does not feel like it was that long.
It doesn't feel like
that,
right?
Part of it is because of COVID, right? Because he signs, and then 2 years later, the COVID title, which
I know,
and it's just like.
Because when I think of his career, I'm like, okay, he was in Cleveland for 7 or 8 years, whatever, and then Miami. In my mind, it's like, and then he was in Miami for 4, then Cleveland for 4, and then LA for like 4.
Yeah, like 4 and 4, yeah, like.
And I'm like, wait, no.
I know people love to say that, like, and when it comes to LeBron's legacy, people love to say, oh, his prime. And obviously most of his winning came in Miami, and it did. I still don't. When I think of LeBron, I don't. As much as he was great everywhere he went, I'll never think of LeBron as a Miami Heat. I will think of him as a Cavalier.
Really
Yeah.
quick scoop. You got to tell me who this is because I can't just based on stats.
Oh
this
wait,
person
300
is.
homers, 171 good career.
Are
Oh,
you talking about
Shohei.
Derek?
oh,
Is
is that Shohei?
I
think
mean,
it's
Shohei,
Shohei.
yeah, Shohei. I understand that.
Yeah,
I
Derek Jeter wouldn't have an ERA of 283.
280.
Uh,
No, I think Shohei's like one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen, and yeah, he will complete that GOAT debate before his career is over. I always just think of him in Miami because I love that version of him. It was it's prime of him. Right, that was like that first year was like hearing him, D Wade, and Bosch talk about that first year losing to Dallas
Yeah.
and how that changed their entire mentalities. I don't know. That will always just stick with me.
yeah.
Let's go to Major League Baseball. Oh, really quick before we do that, I just thought it was funny that Mr. Garcia said corn dog or hot pockets. I have not had a hot pocket in forever. I do like hot
Corn
pockets,
dog.
but
Hot Pockets are
but
garbage.
I'd go corn dog, I guess. I just thought it was funny that we're talking about food.
I don't.
And he brings that
I
up.
don't like how it's like, sweet and savory. Like I like sweet and savory, but not corn dog sweet and savory. I am more of a hot pocket guy. If I'm gonna go savory, like especially for something like a handheld, snack, it needs to be savory all the way through. Like, so it's like a hot pocket to me is great because a hot pocket. Because if you ever had like a pepperoni hot pocket, yeah, I'm a hot
Yeah,
pocket
those are all right.
guy.
All
Yeah, I
right,
mean, there's
all right.
other ones, but
All-star rosters. I guess my question here as I go down is, are there any snubs? Are there any like real surprises?
I mean, the
'Cause
obvious one for me is like Vlad should not be starting over Ben Rice. That's obvious, but Vlad has a whole country voting for him. Ben Rice only has Yankee fans voting for him. Like, so I understand why Vlad won it, but no, man, like Vlad can't start over Ben Rice. Ben Rice has been the best first baseman in baseball this year. Like, you know, what's funny is like when you look at the last four of that All Star team,
I mean, I'm not done. This is just the first section for the American League.
Yeah, I'm saying, but right there, like the last four for that right there, like Trout, Buxton, Judge, Alvarez, their combined IL stints have got to be like, a decade worth of missed time because, like, that's a lot of IL stints at the All Star game. Even though Alvarez had, like even this year, it's funny how the most healthy out of that group is Byron Buxton because Buxton's usually the guy who misses like 2/3 of a season every year. It's actually interesting. Like I know I saw a couple, not a lot of people, but I saw a couple people. Obviously, the few stragglers that had a problem with Judge being there because he's been on the IL. But I'm like, but his numbers were great before going on the IL, so it's fine. And it's also Aaron Judge. You're like, are you gonna deny Barry Bonds? If Barry Bonds played 82 games and he was hurt half the season, but he still hit 30 home runs, would you deny Barry Bonds? No. So it's the same thing with Judge. Alvarez definitely deserves. Alvarez is Alvarez to me. I understand why people want him as like the front runner for AL MVP, but when you're mostly DHing, I don't think you should be because you're not. You're only focusing on just hitting. I think Ben Rice right now to me would be the front runner for AL MVP. I think Bobby Witt's a close second, and then I would put Alvarez just because of the DH thing. And Bobby Witt's just the best defensive shortstop in baseball. It's just a fact, and he also hits like 300 every year. So that I like Caminero there because I think he's. Yeah, I'm glad to see that people are kind of getting him more shine the last year or so. I mean, he's been great. He's got a ton of power. Ernie Clement, I hate that dude. How stick thin he is, and how much of a Yankee killer he is. Because he looks like he should be like, teaching like a high school history class, and the guy is hitting against the Yankees like 350. I'm like, yeah, okay, bro.
Anything here, Shane, that you want to highlight in this first section here?
Yeah, I mean it's it kind of just feels like if you go like basically people just voted by uh opening up the show and just like picking whatever player had the highest rating.
Yeah, this is
It,
exactly what our buddy Tanner told me. He's like, I hate the voting. I think it's like awful, and I was like, yeah, I agree. It's just the voting
yeah.
is ridiculous. All right, let's keep going here. Blah, blah, blah.
Also, I will say the one guy I didn't touch on, Shea Langolier, is good for him. He deserved it.
Yeah, National League. I don't see much here. Is Juan Soto the only good player on the Mets? Is that what we're saying here?
Juan Soto's not even having that great of a year because he sucks defensively.
I was
Like,
gonna say, even that good.
I mean,
That's what I was kind of like. Okay, really? We're putting Juan Soto in here?
I mean, he's having a good year average wise, but home runs, he's kind of middle in the pack. He's got 19 of them. His WAR is way down. His RBIs are way down. Great OPS still, great OPS plus. But he's just not having the season that he probably we're used to seeing. Or at least just a little bit short of what we're used to seeing, especially the last
Wait, go back up,
years.
Robert. Go back up.
Yeah, you want to see this list again?
Yeah. The National League.
Here you go.
There
I
we go.
mean,
There we go.
are we surprised? Are we surprised that like half the list is Dodgers? No. um, you know, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Shohei's obvious. Andy Pajes is Andy Pajes. I'm glad he's kind of getting some shine too because he's kind of like one of those unsung heroes for the Dodgers over the last couple years. I Brandon Marsh is interesting. I haven't who.
That Lopez guy from Miami.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
That dude has been on fire.
yeah. I mean,
And
I
instead of Juan Soto, I would want who's that guy from Chicago? Pete Crow Armstrong.
yeah, PCA. Well,
PCA, yeah.
he's had a
He's
lot of
in here.
struggles. He's had a lot of struggles this year, though.
Oh, is he injured too?
I don't think so.
Is he?
Han said, "Is the Padres window over?" I don't know what the hell's going on with the Padres.
Was their window ever open?
Yeah, that's actually the more important question.
That's the real question.
Actually, wow. I remember PCA struggling the first couple weeks of the season, but apparently he's actually having a great year. I mean, we don't get a lot of the Cubs games. Like, I love PCA, but I remember getting like a couple Cubs games early on in the season. They're like, oh, he's not off to a great start the first couple weeks, but he's picked it up. He's actually playing really well right now. Actually, his numbers are right on pace with Juan Soto. So, and actually defensively, he's way better. So right now this season, he's better than Juan Soto. That's actually crazy to think about.
Yeah. So as Shane said, was the Padres window ever open? I don't think so in the NL with how good the Dodgers are.
To me, the Padres are the West Coast version of the Mets.
It's a good comp, actually.
Yeah. Well, what is it?
Really?
Ever since they busted Tatis and he got off the juice, he's been crap. So
yeah.
I mean, it's just true. I mean, I never bought into the Fernando Tatis hype. I really never did.
No.
I mean, because to me, he's just not. I mean, outside of 2021, when you look at his career numbers, he's extremely overrated. I'm sorry, he is. He's very overrated. I don't like overrated players. It's another reason why I don't like Jazz Chisholm when he came here.
Well, the biggest problem with San Diego is they essentially brought in 6 shortstops and just converted them to all these other positions.
Yeah,
that's
the Padres don't know how to evaluate talent. They don't know what to do with it.
No, they just see a shiny new guy and they're like, "Oh yes, let's bring him here. He can play left field or something." It's like that's not really how that works, but all right.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I'll say with the
maybe I'm just
pitchers here,
cynical, but
I think it's fair. The biggest thing I'll say with the pitchers, and this is kind of my first time like watching because I watched the All-Star reveal and stuff. I don't understand why we need these many pitchers in an All-Star game. This is so much. It's a 9-inning game. Why?
Oh, well,
Why do we need like a double rotation?
You know why? Because each pitcher's only going to go about 1 inning. That's why.
yeah.
But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You need 12 pitchers for 9 innings.
I mean, yeah, just in case. I don't know.
Because you're gonna also bring in a couple guys because just to get like 2 outs. So, like, you know,
yeah, it's so much.
I get it. Yeah, it is still a lot, but you know, also remember also
crazy.
too, it's an all-star game. You don't want to blow these guys' arms out either. So
I guess
you got to realize too, like in the all-star game, they're gonna have guys only get like 1 out or 2 outs or just pitch an inning. So it's like,
Yeah,
you know, it's not gonna be like a regular game where they're gonna have Cam Schiller and say, "Hey, can you throw 8 innings with 10 strikeouts today again, like you've been doing all year?" It's like, no. I don't want Cam Schiller to throw 8 innings, you know, in an all-star game and then blow his arm out. I'm like, we need that in the second half of the year. 1 inning is fine. So,
anything here with the American League pitchers? I mean, it's a lot. So I don't know.
Everybody there deserves it. They've all had great years. Well, Cease to me is up and down, but I think it's okay. I like Joe Ryan a lot. I know a lot of Yankee fans liked Joe Ryan last year as a trade piece, as an acquisition, I should say. I still do. Like I'm like, there's no way we get Tariq Skubal. I'd rather go after Joe Ryan. That's not, just because I know Skubal's better, but he's never pitched in a big game. So it's like we don't know what he is in bigger moments. But I think that Skubal's off the table because of what you have to give up for him would be too much, even for a rental. So I like Joe Ryan a lot. I'm glad he's here. Cade Smith, obviously, he's a guy that I've had my eyes on. Obviously, as an AL, matching up with Cleveland a lot over the years. We got to see a lot of Cade Smith. He's really good. Louis Varland has been the best. I would venture to say he's been the best closer in baseball this year. The guy's ERA is absolutely insane. I don't know about the last few starts, but coming into that Yankee series about 2 weeks ago, he had it was like a .79 ERA or something like that on the season. I actually want to look up to see where he's at now. He is at .96, so not much has changed. But so he's really good. I mean, all these guys here deserve it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Anything, Shane, with the pitchers?
Yeah. I mean, I like this for the most part. I noticed Tampa, they have Rasmussen and what's his face?
Right there, Brian Baker.
And Brian
Baker, yeah. But I feel like the Rays pitcher I really like this year, at least, is Nick Martinez.
Yes. Yeah. I was gonna say
I feel like
I
feel like he should be in here. Another guy that I feel like got snubbed is what's his name from the White Sox, Martin.
Yeah.
Davis Martin. He's been really solid.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, no, it's these guys are all good. I think Schitler's been. I think he's been probably the best starter in the league this year.
Statistics would back you up.
I mean, if not the best, he's top 3 or 4 probably.
would have to
You
have
know,
a catastrophic second half of the year to not win Cy Young at this point.
yeah. The thing about the pitchers this year, though, is the National League pitchers are. I mean, it's not even. They're way better so
Here's
far than
here's the National League.
the American League pitchers. Like I would take pretty much all these guys over. I would take like maybe 3 American League pitchers over any of these guys, and that's it. Like
Do you
it's pretty
agree,
bad.
Brandon? Do you agree?
I mean, you've got a lot of guys here that are phenomenal. I mean, well, Paulsky needs no introduction. Mason Miller.
Chris Sale with his 10th All-Star game.
I was going to mention him. Chris Sale, it's good for him after all the injuries he's battled with over the years. And, I mean, still does to a degree. I'm happy he's healthy this year. And I'm happy that he's pitching so damn well because it's like he's a guy where if he never got healthy, we're talking about we're putting him on that same level as Verlander, Scherzer, etc.
Yeah.
Like right there. Like Chris Sale ability wise is up there with them. He around right on the same level as them, but the health is what kind of puts him in that second level where it's like if he was healthy, you could make a case that he's probably even better than I mean, not better than them, but definitely better than anybody else you could put besides that. That would be your top 3 right there for like this era of baseball. But I love that he's here. Logan Webb, that's a good choice. He's been great for San Fran. Jan Duran, sorry. Fantastic. He's a guy that of course, Yankee fans, we gotta get rid of David Bednar. I want Duran or Mason Miller. Yeah, you're gonna literally give them your entire damn half your roster to get them. So it ain't gonna happen.
Especially with them being all-stars. That's a premium right there.
Jacob Mizorowski, that's your NL Cy Young winner until further notice.
Yeah, he's a bit insane.
He's a freak because that guy is just Randy Johnson, basically reincarnated. Honestly, because the guy has a cannon. He's him. Like, could you imagine if you did put him and Mason Miller on the same team? Good luck hitting 105 every single pitch of the game. Good luck hitting it because you're not going to. And Chris
one guy I feel like they're missing here for the National League pitchers is Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, he's been good this year. Yeah,
But other than that, I really don't have any complaints.
I guess because they've got two Phillies there. I guess they didn't want to put in a third. That kind of be, I guess, to be overkill.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's weird for how good Zach Wheeler is. I don't know what it is in my mind. I forget that he's pitched longer for Philly than he has for the Mets because I still think of him as a Met.
That's weird. Wow.
Like it's weird. He was a Met for 5 years. He's already been a Philly for 7. So I'm like, and the thing is, he's been better in Philly. Isn't that a shame for the Mets? Well, it's the Mets. This is this is why I always say lol Mets because they had pitchers that were that had potential, but they couldn't get them to either stay healthy or they couldn't maximize their potential, and they all went elsewhere and became stars.
Are the Mets making the postseason?
No.
I don't think so either.
They would have to go.
And if they do, they're a wild card exit.
Yeah. Whoever plays on the wild card's beating the crap out of them.
They spent that because I remember 2 years ago we talked about Juan Soto signing with them and everyone was freaking out, and they're spending that much on the payroll for nothing.
Literally, aren't they like they're number 1 in their revenue going right back into the team, and yet with all that money and with the money with the money Steve Cohen has, and they this is just proof that when this is what's funny is when people made fun of the Yankees saying, "Oh, well, you guys can't grow your own talent. You have to pay for players and all this different stuff." Yeah, but paying for players doesn't gift you a championship.
Well,
You have to
it's
pay for the
yeah,
right players.
it's
Like,
because, and I've talked about this before with Trevor May. He's a buddy of me and Robert, and
He's
he
part of our AWA crew, so we've followed
yeah,
him for a long
for
time.
those
I
that don't
was
know,
because
also
he
for those that don't know, also you guys can flex this former MLB pitcher.
Right.
right.
So-
Well, I'm gonna get into that.
Yeah,
He so he was the Mets closer for 2 years, and I was asking him one because he played in a few different teams, the Twins, Mets, and then the A's at the end.
A's, yeah.
And so I asked him one time. I said, what was it like playing for the Mets? Because it's such a not weird, but it's such a unique thing because they spend so much money, yet they seem to kind of just like always underachieve. And he goes, yeah, it was pretty terrible. I won't lie. And I was like, what? And I asked him why. And he said, because it just feels like the Mets, there's no culture there. It's just a bunch of guys getting paid a ton of money who don't give a single shit.
yeah,
And
That's what it feels like watching him this year, honestly.
yeah,
More
no,
than any
it's
other
very
year.
true. And and I thought about that, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense, because it's like that's literally what it looks like. And this was in, I think when was he there, like 22, 23, something like that.
Yeah.
So this was even like before Soto and whatever
Yeah,
else.
before the real money kicked in. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was, they were still like overspending like crazy. So
Yeah.
yeah, but anyways, so yeah, that's just kind of the whole, that's the problem with the Mets. It's kind of like PSG a few years ago when they had Messi and Mbappe
yeah.
and whoever, and it's like,
It
you
wasn't
get all these.
good. It wasn't good at all. It
No,
was
because there
terrible.
was no chemistry or cohesion. It was just a bunch of guys getting a ton of money, and that was that. Like, so
Yeah. American League
yeah.
catchers. I don't know if there's any surprise here.
No, that's exactly who I would have went with, because those are the two. Those are the two
Yeah.
best. I mean, when you've got, and what's funny is those are the two guys I want the Yankees to trade for at the deadline, because I can't stand watching Austin Wells catch. So
Are you tired of him catching, or are you tired of his bat? What are you most
I'm tired of both. Like,
Both.
because
I was watching the game on TBS, and they were talking about how they were expecting him to actually do something with his bat, and he hasn't.
he is the most disappointed I've ever been in a Yankees prospect since I've been watching the Yankees, because I look at him and I'm like, I remember him in college. Great. They said, oh, he's great. Great hitting catcher, great defensively, gets through the minors, playing well, gets called up, and it never materialized. It was like you were great. Like, this is what your profile was. This is what you were supposed to be. Like, this guy was supposed to be like, a Jorge Posada type bat, but even better defense than Jorge ever had. And it just never happened. It never happened. And if anything, it's gotten worse. It's the worst year of his career by far on both sides of the plate. For some reason, it's almost like he's ending up.
What is the ERA, like $1.50? They said on TBS today. Like,
We're talking about his batting average.
yeah, or his batting average. Excuse
Oh
me.
my god! I mean, I don't even want to look at it.
I think they said his batting average is like 1.50.
His batting average right now is a 151.
Gross.
And this is the first year in his career where actually he's a minus in WAR, so he's actually worse than doing nothing.
He's worse than nothing.
And
That's the one thing about war that's so funny to me. You're worse than nothing. That's
you
funny.
want to guess what his
That is kind
OPS
of wow. I never thought of it that way.
you want to guess what his OPS is right now?
Like 400 maybe.
Oh, you're close.
Shane.
I don't know what.
Damn it! I was hoping you would guess. It is a 475.
Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus. NL catchers Contreras and Goodman. I can't believe we have a Colorado Rocky in here, but
He's like the only good Colorado Rocky right now.
Good
He's
for
been great.
him.
He's been great this year. Yeah, he's been fantastic. So
here we go. American League infielders. We have Ben Rice here. I'm so surprised with the White Sox this first half of the year. They're actually playing entertaining baseball.
yeah, not
It's
great.
Because
but
they have the
entertaining.
Pope on their side.
Yes,
Yes.
the Pope. The Pope. National League. Bryce Harper being the legend pick. I don't know.
What does
if
that
there's much
mean?
here. They introduced this new thing where like they just pick a legend to put on a roster.
So we're just handing out free All-Star appearances
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's
Okay.
what Bryce Harper got.
now. So like if Bryce Harper plays another like 4 years, he's just gonna get 4 legend pick like
Picked.
things, like not have to earn it. Like
Yeah, it says legend pick. I think this was done by the commissioner of baseball.
Well,
Your
you
favorite
know what
Rob
it is though?
Manfred.
I do understand it because Bryce is actually having a really good year. He is. But like he's not Bryce Harper anymore where he's gonna hit like 35 homers. I mean, he's still good, but and he is having a good year. But I don't like Bryce is Bryce. Put it this way, Bryce is not what he once was, but he's still very consistent. Like he's a guy where it's like even on his worst day, you're gonna get 100% out whatever out of him, and it'll be fine. Like Bryce Harper is one of those guys where I still cry myself to sleep every night that he's not a New York Yankee. Where I'm like, damn it, I would have loved that swing and that swagger at Yankee Stadium with a short porch and knowing how Bryce hits absolute moonshot tanks. I would have killed. I mean, listen, if we would have gotten him, we wouldn't have Aaron Judge. So it's like the trade-off is like, but man, it would have been so great to see Bryce at Yankee Stadium. Oh my God. Like, oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, Shane, we were waiting for this, so let me get to it. You were not happy with
boy.
Randy's selection. This is the main reason why you're here today. So go.
It's just so strange because he has had one of the worst years of his career. And all the Mariners that could have been picked.
Look at him. He's baffled.
Like, why him? I don't know.
Do you see where Shane's coming from, Brandon, or no?
I like Randy Arozarena. I mean, I hated him obviously when he was a Tampa Bay Ray, but
he's just so up and down.
He's not a guy I think of and I go, that's an all-star. He never was. Like
of all the outfielders in the MLB, I'm not like, you know what? He's one of the best. It's like he's not even the best outfielder on his own team. Like,
like I wouldn't have put him
or the second
there.
best.
Like, I mean, if anybody, deserved it to me. I mean, honestly, like over him. I mean, There's a few guys, I guess, but not more than a few. But he just never screams all star to me. Like I look at Randy Arozarena and I'm just like, good player, yes. Great player, no. All star level
No,
player, hell no.
no,
Like so it's like,
no.
I just like does he have a knack for some clutch moments and things like that? Yeah, but and is he a good like personality guy? Yeah,
Yeah,
but like what we're just gonna give guys all star appearances based off of vibes and clutch? Like is that really what we're
And
doing?
this is why the voting needs to be revamped.
I think Julio and Luke Rayleigh are both better players, and I mean they and I would not even consider voting either one of them to the to the All Star game, at least this year. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a cynical old man, but that's just
You're calling yourself.
that's just how I look at it. You know who I do think, if anybody on the Mariners was perhaps snubbed, was Cole Young, the second baseman. That kid's been a stud.
Yeah.
Um, I've he has surprised me, I will say. But it's all good. He's very young, hence his name.
Hence his name. All right, Shane, I know you have to go. Anything else that you want to say to our viewing audience before we see you again in a few weeks for Football After Hours?
You know, guys, I just want to say this. It's been really funny the last week seeing all the social media comments saying Team US is going to beat Belgium in Seattle. It's Monday Night Football in Seattle. And I was like, you guys are on drugs.
Honestly, I said this to Brandon all throughout the World Cup and before. The amount of people who thought we were going to win the whole thing pissed me off.
And so
I genuinely thought people were on drugs.
And so now I just have to say, as a fan of Denmark, haha, I told you so.
You're not even in the tournament.
I know. I didn't. That's irrelevant.
Still, man.
I don't have a tiger in this fight, So I can just observe it neutrally.
A lot of it was Fox being an idiot with all the amount of promotion of like, oh my god, the USA is gonna win the whole thing. Like,
I mean, you could also tell when people were getting so hyped when the US beat Bosnia, and I'm like, guys, it's Bosnia. I'm like literally everybody and their mother can beat Bosnia. It's not something to be happy about. Like, you should beat them. Like, and then Americans also have to realize one thing, and clearly that a lot of them don't. When I listen, I love this country, but our reading level and our intelligence just goes down each generation. It's just free fall. Like, because
tell it to the two people. Well, they are an American, but tell it to the two people who climbed the Empire State Building last.
Why does everything always have to happen in my area? Like
the Brooklyn Bridge blew up. You also had like random stuff just happens in your area.
Why?
You're about to have a World Cup final in 2 weeks' time.
I will say the fears I had about the World Cup, like being here, were not as bad. Seeing it now, we're not as bad as what I thought they were going to be. They were still pretty bad.
But you still haven't had the final. So.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, for now, like, okay, so for now it's not as bad. I will reserve judgment until that day.
That stadium, I cannot believe that stadium still exists. Why doesn't
it really is really is crazy now that I think about it, all the stuff that goes on in that area. Yeah, between that.
I think about it and I ask God every day, why won't he blow up the sun? Because I just don't want any part of this area anymore. I just don't like this.
My
Is
my fa-
Next,
my fa- my Go, Shane.
I was gonna say next week you'll probably have like Chris Christie parachuting off the Statue of Liberty or something.
I would not be surprised. Not parachuting. It'd be like naked hang gliding. Like
Not to mention you had one of the greatest weddings of all time apparently at MSG, which was stupid.
There's a whole Wikipedia page dedicated
What a
to just
stupid
their
place to
wedding.
get married.
Oh, okay. I cannot believe that they decided on that. Let's shut down New York City the day before July 4th to get married.
Oh, God.
It shows how much celebrities just live in their own bubble. Like,
And on that note, I'm leaving.
Peace, Shane. Good to have you. We'll see you in a few
all right,
weeks.
Shane.
See you, boys. Happy 4th, everybody.
All right. Let's see. National League. I don't think there's much. Here's PCA.
Yeah, it's about right. PCA, Corbin Carroll, Jordan Walker, James. Yeah, it's about right.
Designated hitters: Yandy Diaz and
Yeah,
Kyle
he's been phenomenal.
Schwarber.
Yeah, they both been phenomenal this year.
Okay. Oh, did you see the Royals went like crazy and hit in 12 straight plate appearances today?
I mean,
Yeah.
the Royals are so weird. They'll have games where they're getting blown to smithereens like 22-1, like they did against the White Sox, and then they'll just have a game like that where they'll hit like for like literally like 12 straight at bats. It's like the Royals are such a weird team because it's like at their peak, they obviously winning a World Series and Alex Gordon and prime Sal Perez and all that stuff. Like I get that, but like it's like when they're good, they're really pesky and good and fun to watch, and then when they're really good, like they can actually make a run. But when they are like any kind of like middling to bad, they are like disgustingly awful. It's like it's just like there's no in between for Kansas City. It's like each year at this point is a roller coaster ride. They'll literally have a 3-game series where they'll have a blowout win, a blowout loss, and then get walked off in a loss. And it's like, what the hell happened in that series? Like, the Royals confuse me as a baseball team. They just do. Because I'm just like,
baseball confuses me, especially the American League, because I don't know what the hell is going on.
The American League is just the Yankees and Rays battling for whoever's going to be first and to basically win the pennant, to win to go all the way and win and get through the ALCS, because there's nobody in the ALCS right now. There's nobody in the AL that can beat the Yankees or Rays right now. I don't think that's possible.
That's certainly what it feels like, especially when the Yanks get healthy here.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe we're talking about this, but when I saw it, I was flabbergasted. CM Punk, undisputed WWE champion. Why? For those who don't know, Sami Zayn won the belt at Night of Champions, and he only held it for 9 days. Which, I don't know. That just seems disrespectful.
I mean,
and
WWE is just finding ways. And for those that don't know, yes, this is a wrestling segment now. So if you don't like what we're gonna say, then if it's not sports to you, then by all means, there's a door. But
I mean, look, we should talk about it because SummerSlam is coming up.
Yeah.
When is Samsung? When is
it's coming up? Yeah, it's coming
We're
up.
like very close to SummerSlam.
But my biggest problem is
August 1st and 2nd in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's when it was last year when they came here and I went. But the biggest problem for me with WWE that no other company just has is like all WWE is doing is just creating storylines to give Cody Rhodes the belt back. That's basically all they're doing.
I guess. I just
like
my problem, honestly, is like I feel like if I watch AEW and I don't follow it super closely, but I can put on AEW. It doesn't matter what show they put on, and I could watch it for like 5 to 10 minutes and have a good time. And WWE to me right now, I am exhausted. Exhausted. Like I'm watching these shows and I'm like, other than Danhausen, what is happening here? The stories seemed pointless. They seemed wasteful. Even in AEW, like the fun of it sometimes isn't the stories; it's the dumb gags they just randomly do.
Yeah.
A guy's just in a cold tub doing an interview, and WWE to me, like it just proves the point of the fact that they have a formula and they will not change it no matter what. They have people that they like or somewhat like in the case of CM Punk, and it's like, okay, here you go. And then the mid card does like Raw and SmackDown don't mean anything. And then you go to any of these pay-per-views, and the pay-per-view is a 5.5 hour show with 3 hours of commercials. You're just watching Advert City all day long. And it's a constant issue. And it's like, why? Like, I look, the matchups for SummerSlam look really good, but there's no story. There's nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, the matches are probably going to be good, but there's no lead up. There's nothing. There's nothing happening.
The best part with like AEW is what AEW does well is long-term storytelling. Like they'll give you a build up to a match, and then we'll get like a small feud, whatever, and then it'll die off, and then they'll reignite that feud like a year and a half, 2 years later, where it's like everybody kind of just put it out of their mind for a little bit, and then they bring it back and they do it even better the second time. Like it's like that. There's a AEW to me, their creative is better. How much kind of free reign they give to their wrestlers and what they want to do is just great. It's a lot better. Um, it's everybody was worried when a lot of wrestlers, like about 2 or 3 years ago, were jumping ship from AEW to go to WWE, because those are guys that were just chasing money. They're not doing
And,
it.
and guess what? A lot of them having issues with. They're getting their contracts restructured, and
Yeah,
it's all about the money. And yeah,
yeah, yeah. They're either getting cut and they're going back to like the indies, so they're taking even a step down from AEW. And like it's like, well, you messed up a good thing because you got greedy, and now either you're liking the paycheck but you're getting no airtime on WWE, so you're slowly fading away from the public eye, and then you're gonna end
yeah.
up just getting cut anyway. And it's like, that like to me, AEW cares about the wrestlers more. AEW cares, like everyone says that AEW has no storylines. That's bullcrap. They do, and they're better storylines than
I
anything
would I
WWE
would I
has.
would argue WWE doesn't even care about their storylines.
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't.
They don't. I'm sorry. What you saw on Monday Night Raw, like, who cares, man? Why
Like,
even care? Why even care that Sammy? Because we all kind of thought, Sammy was probably going to keep the belt until SummerSlam. Oh yeah, 9 days later, here, give it to CM. Why? What? Why?
doesn't make sense.
We're not gonna give Sammy any run at all to just do something with the belt for like at least a
It
few
just
weeks.
I feel bad for Sammy because it's like every time they give him something interesting to do, they then just take it from him. They just pull the plug. I'm like, why? Let him run with it. Like it just doesn't make sense. I'm like, because Sammy's talented, he sells well, he's goofy, when he wants to be. Like he does a lot of things really well, and it's just like for some reason they never give him a proper push, and I don't understand why. Because he's so over. He's so
I, I,
liked.
I just when someone gets the belt, just give them 3 to 4 weeks with the belt. What's the harm of giving Sammy a month with the belt?
See,
Genuinely,
the
what's the
one thing
harm?
the one thing I miss about WWE that AEW does, not often, but they do every once in a while, and it keeps things interesting. WWE when I was growing up, like when we were growing up, during the ruthless aggression era, WWE, if somebody won a belt, they'd make them defend that belt until they found the right person they felt they can give it to lose it, like to give it to someone else.
Yeah.
And but
Even if guys have a belt for a short time, they'll still have like 5, 6, 7 title defenses.
exactly, like the problem is it's not so much giving a guy a belt for 3 or 4 weeks. You have to make those 3 or 4 weeks count. You have to make that guy or woman defend the belt.
And that's the thing. It makes Raw and SmackDown interesting
Because
if you
like
can give them,
you know
quick defenses and stuff.
like when we were little, Triple H always defended the belt. John Cena defended the belt. Undertaker defended the belt. Chris Jericho would defend the belt. Like anybody who had the belt would defend it for a good amount of time. Even like didn't matter if you were a face or if you were a heel. Everybody defended their belts. And now you give a wrestler a belt, especially if they're considered a top guy, like a Roman Reigns or whatever. That's like okay. They're like, oh, he's had the longest title reign, ever for an undisputed WWE champion. I'm like, he's also only fought 3 matches in 3 years. Like, why? Why is he not defending the belt?
I'll tell you why. I watched a bit of WWE Unreal, like the first season, and it's just because like we're not just the undisputed WWE champion. It's like you are the face of the company. You are the person that people go to. You are the superstar of superstars. And it doesn't matter what you do, you're known for that. Instead of it being like, okay, the belt actually should mean something in the ring. I don't think the WWE cares about that aspect of the belt. I genuinely think what they care about with the belt is like, here's someone who can be there you go. Here's someone who can be the face of the company. We bought a box of drumsticks. Here's Cody Rhodes just on the box. Like, okay, like so that's what it is. They view the belt as a marketing tool versus something that they can actually use as a thing.
See, the whole belt as a marketing tool gimmick started honestly with that belt. That's John Cena's U.S. Championship belt.
Yeah.
That was back when he was still a heel, kind of transitioning into a face, like 2004 ish.
Yeah.
That belt became a marketing tool, but it was only intended to be a marketing tool. But the thing is, back then, when John was in his prime and all these guys, they still defended their belts. Like they still those. That's why when people go to wrestling events with championship belts, it's all older wrestlers. It's all the Hogans, the Ric Flairs. It's Sting. It's John Cena. It's Undertaker. Triple H. It's young Randy Orton. It's all these guys because those were the guys that because people love the fact that is it still hard to be a professional wrestler? Yes, and it always will be. But these wrestlers
especially now, the crop is so much bigger.
Yeah.
It's so much bigger.
But these wrestlers do not go through half of what the wrestlers from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s did.
Not even close. They have more time with their families, which is good, but you're just hopping on a private flight, going to a city, fighting a match with someone that you barely know, and hopping back on a plane home.
And that's why I respect the wrestlers that growing up that I loved. Like, it's why the only thing that keeps me from not watching WWE anymore, the only thing that kind of keeps me interested is to see Randy Orton, is to see Rey Mysterio, is to see the guys that I grew up on still doing it because they love it, rather than they do it because of the money. And the money's great; they're still considered top guys and whatever. Not so much Rey. Rey's considered more of a mid-carder now, but
I have a shirt. He's like, these are the first.
Yeah, I know. But like
first WWE shirt I got. I'm gonna get an AEW one next.
Like I everybody knows that knows me. I'm an old soul person. Like I have a nostalgia for things that I had growing up, or that the previous generation had that I still had growing up. But I see things in a very more traditional mentality when it comes to a lot of things, whether that's sports, whether that's music, whether that's wrestling, whatever it is. So, I look at wrestling today and I'm like, I respect what the show these guys put on, but the reason why I watch like AEW way more to this point where I'm an AEW fan, not a WWE fan, is because AEW, those guys, like I said, they defend their belts. They're on TV every week. They 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 are, and if they're not wrestling, they're cutting great promos every week. The pay per views are a million times better than WWE's even best pay per view.
And you
Um,
don't have the same amount of ads, and it is
yeah,
wrestling. Yeah.
it's not the same amount of ads. And the thing is, you get your money's worth when you go to an AEW show. You don't get that with WWE, and you know, I think like I love going to AEW events because you just get, like I said, not just your money's worth, but the more bang for the buck thing. Like I said, AEW will give you a 4 or 5 hour pay per view, but it's nothing but a lot of good promos and a lot of good action. That
Yeah.
it's perfect. There's no breaking the action for 20-minute entrances for a 5-minute match. Like
Oh my
these,
god, the WWE entrances have been killing me lately on these pay-per-views. They've
I
been
don't
killing me. They've been
I
killing
don't
me. They're like Jay's yeet thing. He gets tired. He's tired after the whole thing. Why is
yeah,
it 10 minutes long? Like, what are we doing
yeah.
here, man?
Like whenever the thing is, and that's
And I
another problem.
like the yeet thing, but like 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Why?
that's another problem with entrances is that like back in the day, if you had a long entrance, it was because you were a top guy and you earned it, you deserve it. And the thing is, but they also like the entrances made sense. Undertaker's entrance being as long as it was made sense. You know,
He
like
was also like
certain
stalking the ring. He wasn't tiring himself out.
yeah, like it made sense. Like you've got Liv Morgan doing a whole dance routine and things like this. I'm like, why is she dancing like she's in a Britney Spears video when she's supposed to be doing a wrestling entrance? What is happening
Because
there?
and this is what WWE is right now. At least again, as a casual wrestling fan who just thinks about okay, what is the because that's what's intrigued me the most recently is like what the wider business is, like what the wider business is for AEW, what the wider business is for WWE, and honestly, the state of WWE right now, just from a backstage, it's insane for me. Because it makes no sense. And
Yeah,
it's like, okay, we have the ESPN deal. We have USA, or I get Versat, which is USA, and then we have the Netflix deal. And they say, oh yeah, Netflix Raw is like a big deal. And now it's nothing. Now it's just okay. It's on Netflix. Great. Here's a bunch of ads. So it's like, okay, we're focused on the ads. We're focused on this. And like, again, when I put on an AEW show, even for 5 minutes, I was like, okay, they're doing this funny thing. They're doing this funny promo. They're doing this thing or, whatever. And like, it's like, and my whole thing with WWE, it's like, okay, the creative doesn't care about the product. Clearly. I'm sorry. They don't. They don't care about the product at all. I can't even stomach 5 minutes of watching WWE right now. I can't. I'm
yeah,
debating not even watching SummerSlam. I want to watch SummerSlam, but I don't think I can sit through it. And the storyline, like, are you developing younger wrestlers that are marketable? And my answer with WWE is no. There's nothing. There's nothing happening in that company right now. They're losing wrestlers. They're cutting things back. And AEW is like, all right, we'll take them here, or we'll bring up somebody else or whatever. Like Chad Gable is a good example. Chad Gable had that big match in
yeah,
AAA. What has he done in WWE since then? Since he came back? Nothing. They've
nothing.
given him nothing. What does anyone, and again, just like with the US Soccer Federation, does anyone in that WWE office actually care about the product?
No,
Or you just care about making money? And it's like,
that
okay,
like
you can care about making money, but then don't be upset when people don't want to watch your pay-per-view. Don't be upset when Raw goes down in ratings. And honestly, I think a huge reason why they did the whole CM Punk wins the belt thing is because of it was during the USA game that he won the belt.
Yeah.
You're just like, we need to compete with the World Cup. I'm sorry, you're not. I know AEW's tried to, but AEW also understands like, hey, we want to make a good product and people watch it on demand.
Yeah.
People just think that. I think WWE just thinks we all watch this stuff live. And honestly, watching WWE live is a pain. It is a
It is.
slog. It is a slog watching it
Like,
live.
my problem with WWE, like just from a show standpoint when it comes on, WWE you can see is way too polished. It's way too like sanitized.
We only care about 5 people, maybe
And
6.
yeah, and the thing is, they don't know what to do with their roster. It's like and we said that a bunch of times on the show too. But we've said this with creative is when you have a talented roster, like AEW has a talented roster, but every guy, maybe not every week because you still have to you still have to kind of find ways to get guys involved and whatever. But they do such a good job.
You'll make room.
You'll make room.
You
Like
have Dynamite, you have Collision, you have other events. You'll make room.
like you're always gonna have with a wrestling roster that like that AEW has, WWE has. There's always gonna be some people that are left out, and it's just for one reason or another. But AEW does a good job of most part, 90% of the time, of getting everybody involved, doing something with them, and
Even the smallest little thing can make an impact, basically.
exactly. Even if you give somebody a small 30-second promo to cut, it makes a difference. Like, because being on the show, you get paid versus not being on the show at all. So
Yeah.
it's like they will still find a way to get certain people, certain wrestlers, in on things. WWE, there's only like, they keep pushing them. Like I said, they keep pushing the co-main event and the main event of a pay-per-view of a PLE, but I don't call it PLE. It's a pay-per-view, damn it. But it's just like when you're only pushing that stuff so hard and pushing the merch for that so hard, and
you push like think about WrestleMania a couple months ago. I wanted to watch WrestleMania night 2, and I know night 2 was really good. I couldn't stomach it because there were so many ads.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing this. I can't do it.
You
Can't do it. I can't do it. That's how I feel about SummerSlam. I probably will watch part of it, but I can't. I can't do it.
I mean, I'll try to watch it, but there's no guarantee because, I mean, just for me, I'm keeping more tabs on the AEW shows on the pay-per-views than I am for WWE. So, like,
and I'm sorry, half of these matches that are rumored, it's like, haven't we seen this 1,000 times already?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like what?
It's like, the thing is, like, WWE will constantly shove the same match in your face in the span of a year. Like, 6.
And expect you to think it's new and improved when it's just the same match.
They'll like, back, like I'm gonna say, back when we were younger, you would get like, a trilogy of matches between 2 wrestlers, but they'd spread it out over the course of a year or year and a half. So it'd be like, okay, like this is what it is. But now it's like if you have 2 wrestlers in a feud, they have to fight at every single pay-per-view. They have to be the main event of every single pay-per-view. I'm like, that's not how it should be. And
yeah,
like, like AEW does this really well, where they'll give you 2 or 3 matches between a wrestler or a real long build up to a real good match, and you come out of it feeling that it was worth it. That you got to see something really cool.
Because the storylines matter. Even if the end result is what you expected, there has to be a reason for the 5 weeks of buildup or whatever, right?
Like if you go back, I know you watched the match, but if you go back and watch the buildup to the match I saw, Fletcher versus Ospreay, you'll understand why that was such a good payoff for what it was.
Yeah, and I even thought just again a casual wrestling fan, I was like, this is just good moves. There's
pure
intent. There's clear intent. There was just clear agreement between both wrestlers in terms of this is how we're gonna do this, and how we're gonna do this. It doesn't feel jaded. And WWE right now, like I watched the first hour of Night of Champions, like this just feels so basic. Everything. I'm like, why? And the gimmicks feel
everything WWE,
overblown. And I'm just like,
yeah,
dude, why are we doing this?
like AEW will take old ideas, like recycle them, but put twists on them that make them feel new.
Yeah.
That's it's like, you know, like and AEW is a company where it's like, you know, the wrestlers love it because it's the wrestling that they grew up on. Where it's like,
Yeah.
it's that more hardcore style. It's that more attitude era / ruthless aggression era style. It's more
Just a more modernized version for
it's
2026.
just
Yeah.
like, WWE is so like, you can't do this, you can't say this, you can't do, gotta do this, gotta be this image, gotta, they try to fit you into a
They,
mold that doesn't make sense.
they are so protective of their brand that it hurts them almost.
Yeah.
That's
Whereas,
what WWE to me feels like.
and it's
It
like,
feels like WWE is the thing, and the rest of y'all don't care other than like 3 or 4 of you who have belts.
yeah, like,
Or
like, we're not saying all this as bull, at least for me. I won't, because I won't speak for you too, but for at least for me, I don't want to say it as though we're just completely bashing the hell out of WWE. I've always said for years growing up, even when before AW existed, when TNA was kind of dying, that it's like Madden. How we always say that Madden needs competition, like 2K and all this kind of stuff, to be successful and
have you
push.
seen the CFB 27 microtransactions? I almost don't want to touch the game.
Yeah, like
It's so bad.
like you need competition in anything in life to raise your game. And
Yeah.
when so
But
I'm like,
I think WWE, my issue with WWE ultimately is I just feel a sense of complacency.
it's almost like they don't care to raise their game. Like they should be doing it, but they're not. And that's also why it's
Yeah.
like they are losing people to AEW, whether they want to admit it or not. They are. And
Yeah.
it's like, but it's like, it's
Ultimately,
just
ultimately, my whole thing is I'm sorry, it's on Triple H to change what they want to do.
yeah.
He can hide behind the fact that TKO wants this, TKO wants that. Sure, but who's the boss of the promotion? You are.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about the UFC. Once the Conor fight is done, we're not going to talk about UFC for a while. We're just not.
That's
It's the same
like,
thing. Because they're the same company. It's the same crap.
yeah.
Once the Conor fight ends, just because we're only watching it because it's Conor, okay?
Well,
I'm
Max
sorry.
Holloway's great.
Max
He is
Holloway's great.
great.
But I'm sorry. Most people, 99% of people are only going to watch that fight because Conor.
We just want to see it because it's Connor's first MMA fight in what, 5 years?
Yeah. And once that's over and we don't see Conor for another year, probably more, thinking about how his career is, I don't think we're going to be talking about the UFC much.
No.
And that's how I feel about WWE, same way. I'm just like, I'll talk about it when they do something stupid like they did on Monday. But aside from that, and we'll see how SummerSlam goes, but
like it's just like
I'm disgusted. I don't care. I do care just because I'm new to the business, and it's like, oh yeah, the WWE business is interesting, but it's interesting for all the wrong reasons. It's interesting because it's pissing off the hardcore fan. It's interesting because they're making these very simple mistakes that even a casual wrestling fan can tell you this is insane.
Yeah, like it's bad because wrestling fans that grew up with it, no matter if you're 25 or if you're 55, any wrestling fans that grew up with it understand that what WWE is doing is not how the business was intended to be. It's not how it should be. It's not what, WWE has turned it from sports entertainment and just dropped the sports out of it and made it entertainment.
This is going to sound really bad, but it feels like if you took Love Island and said, just do a wrestling version of Love Island, almost without the it's like without thinking of
Yeah.
the romance part. It's like, here's the drama of Love Island and just put it for a, I guess, semi more male audience. Of course, WWE and all these things are not just all male centric, nor should they be. But I'm just trying to come up with a comparison where it's like WWE is leading so much into, we are a reality show first. And I'm like, yeah, that's wrestling. I get it. But there is a product of two people hitting each other in the face that you're just completely ignoring.
But that's
on top
also,
of the fact that the storylines are just, it's kind of like Love Island storylines are just like, okay, they're manufacturing all this crap to get people pissed off.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, but are you doing it in a manner that has a payoff? And what
Right.
I've heard from people in this year of Love Island is no. And obviously it's a weird comparison, but that's the model I feel like the WWE is in. The model WWE is in is, we're a reality show first versus like AEW. We're a wrestling show first that will give you the storyline to make it what people say about wrestling. And this is the simple core, is like, we know it's not real, but make it as believable as possible, where it means something, where these guys have passion in what they're doing from the creative all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem with reality shows in general now in 2026, in my opinion. And AEW is trying to cut that line. They're doing a better job of it.
Yeah, it's like, and this is what I said. Like for me, how I got back into wrestling. I left watching WWE when I was like about 14 years old, and I and at that time, you just get older. You're kind of, your interests change and things like that, and you kind of grow out of that kind of younger audience, what it's geared toward. I mean, not that it was always geared to younger audiences, but I got away from
WWE is catering to the lowest common denominator, honestly, at this point, with the YouTubers, the celebrities.
It's just kids. They're catering to kids. They're catering
to kids. They're catering to kids, and they're not winning.
Yeah, and they're just like,
they're not winning catering to kids.
And that's what AEW does a lot too, is that they cater to everybody. There's something in it for the older wrestling fan. There's something in it for the kids coming up nowadays. Like, AEW is so well rounded, whereas WWE is just so kid centric. And I'm like, even their insults don't hit as hard. Like, like AEW is not afraid to push the envelope a little bit on the things they say and what they do, and these wrestlers love doing it. WWE, it's like, you can see the wrestlers, you can see the strain they have, like, on their faces, like delivering a promo that's been so like rehearsed that they don't believe what they're saying.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, my test with it is like, as a casual wrestling fan, can I come into a pay-per-view and just enjoy it? And with WWE, I'm not. That's the thing. I'm not enjoying it. But I can put on like parts of an AEW show, even forget a pay-per-view, a show, and be like, this is pretty damn enjoyable. There's funny moments. There's good wrestling. There's clearly intent of the interactions between wrestlers. They're clearly having fun doing it.
Yeah.
It feels infectious. The fans feel it too. And WWE, I mean, look, Night of Champions, the front row was all of these, princes and whatever of the Saudi Arabian government. And they're just on their phone. They don't even care about what's in front of them. And again, I'm not going to diss the Saudi Arabian government. Look, they paid for it. They're having a time, whatever. But I'm sorry. It feels like they're also representing an entire WWE fan base who feels like they're on their phone half the time because they're just bored at what's on. Like, it's kind of a symbol of what WWE is. It's like, the prince that's on his phone is the same as the person in 300 level on their phone. Same exact thing.
I've always said this, but AEW requires you to really pay attention to what's going on, because it's kind of like a thing of like, if you blink for 1 second, you'll miss. Like, if you miss part of a storyline, you'll get confused as to what the storyline is. And like, but that's a good thing though, because it makes you really invested in what you're watching and makes you want more of it, especially if it's a good storyline. WWE does it to where it's like it is so cookie cutter and been done 1,000 times before that it's like I'm like,
they don't have a storyline. They don't
yeah,
have a storyline.
it's like you're boring me.
They have nothing. They have nothing. I don't know. I'm really confused by them because honestly, at this point with WWE Unreal, they're making the backstage reality TV as well. So it's like, okay, so what do you want out of the company? You just want it to look like Love Island, or you just want it to
And
look
I don't
like
like.
well, who cares?
I know that wrestling was always going to go this way eventually because as long as there's been computers around, like the technology around, like since the '90s, basically, there was always going to be like kind of guys exposing little bits and truths of the business.
But
But
I think any reasonable wrestling fan knows that it is scripted. But
yeah,
it's like make it enjoyable at least. Don't
yeah.
make it flat.
The problem is with WWE Unreal, they did it as a way of like, oh yeah, we want to show you this to take you behind the scenes of what we're doing, but it's almost becoming an indictment of WWE
I
of how they don't know what they're doing.
I watched a few episodes of it and I was like, these behind the scenes stuff are also feeling immensely scripted, immensely
Yeah,
wasteful. You're not showing me anything that I don't already know about the business. You're
it's
not
almost like
showing me anything.
they're doing a mockumentary of themselves. Like,
That's what it felt. That's what the first couple seasons of, or the first couple episodes of season
and
one
and
felt
it's also
like.
like and it's also like too, and it's like and even so, it's like they want to show you the business, but also like kind of like like a more fictionalized version of what they're actually doing. But it's like, it's also showing you that they're like even for it being a fictionalized, kind of uh, part of also what goes on to the day to day operations and reality. It still makes them look worse because just like
Yeah,
you
it
know
does. I think because when I started watching it and I started kind of because I started watching it, I stopped, which says a lot. Because they're about to do season three. I think the trailer for season three just dropped yesterday. Which again, I can't believe they're doing another season of it. I just it's like okay, like are it's kind of it almost feels like F1 Drive to Survive, where it's like you can be a fan of it, but also like that's kind of how I got started in F1 was like, all right, Drive to Survive, the movie. And it's like a lot of people just kind of sit in that sector and don't like branch out. Like I watch a lot of other YouTube F1 stuff. I've woken up and watched races. Like I'm engaged. But what you're trying to do is you're just trying to make them like you're trying what the Netflix shows always do. And when you get older, you learn this. It's like they just want you to think that there's drama in every corner, which there really isn't in most cases.
yeah.
Like it really isn't this like hardcore thing. So like WWE and Real is like, oh my god, there's so much drama to make this work and this work and this work. It's like it feels like you're just adding something to your plate that nobody needs
Yeah.
when everyone knows the real truth about what goes on behind the scenes. We don't. There's a reason why our first thing with any wrestling promotion is about the creative, because we know that's what it is. You don't have to show me that's what it is.
Yeah.
I know that's what it is, but you don't need to be like so confident that every bits and piece is going to work, that everything is going to go like, nah. I don't need that. I don't need that. And by the way, the bits and pieces about the wrestlers, like making their costumes and stuff and who they are, that's like a 10, 15-minute YouTube clip that you can just put up. Why not
And
just do that
and
instead? That's
and a,
way
lo-
more interesting.
and a lot of wrestlers nowadays are so transparent with their stuff that it's like they have their own YouTube channels where they even show people what they're doing. Like,
Yeah. And honestly, that's pretty good. That's a way to engage people.
well, that's
You don't
and
need it.
that's a good side of and what I kind of like, and this kind of branches into the YouTube side of things. Like, I love now more than ever that wrestlers are taking it upon themselves. Not so much current wrestlers, not so much like WWE guys, but like the former ones, Stevie Richards, Devon, Maven, like they like, especially those three. There's others, but those three, like they do such a good job at giving you like what the real behind the scenes actually is,
Yeah,
and what
like what the actual difficulty of the business was versus this cookie cutter. Oh, this thing. Like, nah.
and like, it's
Yeah.
like even Maven even reacted to an episode of WWE Unreal, and he's like I'm gonna tell you right now, most of this is bullshit. Basically, he's like most of this is
Well,
like
he basically was like, listen, it's not a bad idea to watch the show, but you need to realize that they also greenlit everything on this
e-
show as well.
exactly
So
like
it's like,
yeah
and you think that any reality show you watch on Netflix or Peacock or whatever streaming service you have, everything gets greenlit.
yeah
There's a reason that the Love Island cast is what it is, because
yeah
this person's the villain. It's the same, not exactly the same idea, but it's the same idea to an extent, and that's what annoys me about WWE. It's like, okay, but no, in general, it's like that's the thing. So you kind of YouTube gives you a more, depending on who you watch, a
yeah
more unfiltered view of a more view of like, this is what it actually was, this is what it actually is, versus, oh, this is happening in this. Like, I remember Maven reacting to like really bad wrestling matches
yeah
and getting an understanding of like, okay, you can now do a better job at telling like what actually hurts, what is actually like them protecting each other,
yeah
and what is like a real hit. And even the stuff where they're protecting each other can still be significant.
yeah
It's just how they approach it, and that's fun to me. So that's kind of all I have. I don't know what WWE is doing. I'm so once CM Punk won the title, I was like, we should talk about this,
yeah
because it was just so stupid.
but it's just like
It
it
just
just show
shows that they don't care. It shows that they
yeah
don't care. It shows that nobody cares, and
but
it's just
it
like,
just
okay, whatever.
it's
Oh
crazy
yeah,
how,
oh yeah. CM Punk's back in Chicago. Let's put the belt back on him.
it's like every time
Why?
like it's like when it comes to Punk, it's like he's somebody that I respected as a wrestler, but as a person, it's like if he could look back, if his older self could look at him now, I think his older self would be ashamed at what he's become. But
Yeah.
I think that you know I just don't understand like just us talking about how bad it was for Punk to get the belt after Sammy only had it for basically 10 seconds was
I no, I
was
just like, I'm sorry. I'm like, listen, if you're gonna give someone the belt, give them time with the belt. Don't
it
just
needs to
like
mean something.
the
It,
belt. The belt means all of these belts, okay, across the board mean nothing. They just don't. They mean
in
nothing.
WWE, yeah.
They're marketing tools. They're waste of time. And
Like
it's like, man, make it something.
AEW makes sense. AEW makes the belts important. Like at
Yeah.
least at least most of them. Like WWE, none of those belts matter.
None of the belts matter.
None.
And by the way, I think the funniest part about WWE right now, before we conclude, is the tag teams are so stupid.
Oh,
The tag
yeah.
teams are so bad. The Vision, we're doing the Bloodline again. It's like, oh Jesus.
But they're just recycling crap that's been done 1,000. Once again, more recycled garbage that doesn't. It's just
Matter.
you are not pushing yourself. You're not pushing your brand. You're not pushing the envelope. You like, and the thing is, the sad part is people eat that crap up, and I'm like, if you guys want change, you need to hit WWE where it hurts and be like, hey, we need to stop watching this crap until they fix what's wrong.
I also hate, and you talked about this a few weeks ago, ESPN getting the PLEs was such a
Ugh.
bad choice.
Yeah.
It's such a bad choice because they're treating it like it's a normal sport when it's not. It's not. You don't
Yeah.
need like 2-hour pre-shows for this. You don't need it. You do not need it at all. You don't need to treat it like it's a real sport. You don't need to treat the commentary like it's the UFC. It's not. It's never going to be accepted. And it's not. It's never. It was never supposed to be. So why? Why are you treating? Oh god.
The whole point of wrestling when it first started was to make it believable, but to a point.
Because if we cross that point, we're gonna seriously injure or kill people.
Because yeah, and that too. And it's like, but the thing is, WWE is so determined to cross that point, like, or to drive home the point of like realism. But it's like
It's like it's like WWE with ESPN is like, we are sports. You're sports entertainment. You are sports. You deserve to be in the conversation of other sports. But you are also over here for a reason. You're over here for a reason. And you need to stay there.
It's like,
And that's what it is.
When you think of sports entertainment, and most sports entertainment is scripted, like, so it's like, wrestling or the Harlem Globetrotters, um, or even Banana Ball is sports entertainment. Even though Banana Ball is real, it's not scripted.
It's sports entertainment. Banana Ball is sports entertainment, and ESPN is promoting it more than Major League Baseball. So which is insane.
Yeah, like, I love Banana Ball because at least Banana Ball is realistic. Like, it's real. It's not, because these guys are, a lot of them are former baseball players. A lot of them are, single A or double A guys. Like, they actually do play the game. Like, and the thing is, you can't fake baseball or else someone's gonna get hurt. So,
Yeah.
like, you have to actually play the game.
I always thought Banana Ball was to get younger kids to enjoy the sport.
It's actually fun, though.
It is fun. I'm not saying it's not fun, but like, it's like, okay, we're just, and by the way, I also don't understand TNT or Warner Bros. And Disney with ESPN promoting Banana Ball as hard as they do when you can watch every Banana Ball game on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
So they just get the rights for like nothing. Yeah. I just don't know why. Banana Ball doesn't need that kind of promotion. I guess they just need programming, which is fine.
Like, sport, like, when it comes to sports entertainment as a whole, you want it to be realistic, yes, but you also need to be smart about how you go about it. Like, the
Globetrotters, or else people are gonna turn on you. Else people are just gonna be done.
It's like, you ever wonder why the Globetrotters have survived as long as they have, like, for about basically 100 years, if not more, is because you know exactly what you're getting every time. But the thing is that they do it in a way where it's a staple. It's classic. It's like, it works.
It's like the play Hamilton or William Shakespeare, where it's tried and true. Yeah, it's a basketball showcase. It's a basketball play,
and it's like in WWE. In WWE, for wrestling in general, it's like, we do value tradition, but the thing is like, when WWE does things to try to be edgy and different and be like, oh, like, look, we're going down this avenue now for a storyline if they have one, and it's like, but the problem is you're doing it in a way that doesn't make sense. That's not rooted in tradition, and that's not rooted in, like, there is a way to do a traditional storyline, but make it fun and exciting and put twists in it. Like, that's what the Globetrotters will do, for their sports entertainment. That's what it is. Like, the problem is WWE is either too formulaic, and we've seen it 1,000 times, and there's no variation in it, or they're trying to be too innovative that it comes off as cringy, forced, and crap.
This is why the only thing I really, really love about WWE is Danhausen. Because Danhausen is just silly. He's ridiculous. His character is insane. And it's just like, he's just there having fun.
Yeah.
Having a good time. Screwing around. And it's just like, man, I love that. I love that. And it's just like, we watched Danhausen clips and we're just laughing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why is he here? What is he doing now? Why is he cloning? Like, what is he doing? What is he? And that's what's fun about him. He's just this weird human, this weird character, this weird vampire. It's like, all right, what? And also with Danhausen, what's fun with him is the stick should not work. It
Yeah, it
really
should.
shouldn't, but it does every time
Yeah.
because it's so off its rocker. And WWE's like, yeah, just go for it.
Like,
I just wish we had more of that across the
and the
board.
thing is,
More silliness, more fun,
but
playful.
you're like,
Enjoy it.
what? But you know why it works is because that's the character he's had even before WWE. That's the character he's had on the Indies. That's the character he's had in AEW. That's his character pretty much. So it's like, and the thing is, he's been that big draw wherever he's gone. Like, in terms of like as kind of like a sideshow character. But
he's the one sideshow character that like does it so right. He understands how to do it. And like, people like him because
he's the one guy where I'm like, I'm glad WWE didn't try to water him down or change him, because I'm like because WWE does that with all the wrestlers they bring in. They try to water them down or change them or whatever. I'm like, and it doesn't work. Like, WWE was at least smart enough and had the common sense of, hey, we have a good thing right there. Let's not mess with that.
Yeah, and it's so, just Danhausen, like, if you want to get into wrestling in any capacity, I cannot recommend you enough for Danhausen. Because Danhausen is just silly to the nth degree. He does stuff you're like, what? Why?
Yeah.
But it's so funny. It's so funny. It's so stupid. He's like, he was probably the best part of that first hour of Night of Champions. He was only there for 5 minutes.
You know what?
He's just enjoyable.
And you know what it is about him, and about the real life guy behind it, is that it's a shame because before the whole character took off, he actually, and the thing is that you have to be to a degree, but before the whole character took off, he was actually a very skilled wrestler. He was really good at what he did.
Honestly, from what I've seen of him, I think he's just being underutilized as a wrestler. I do want to see more of him in the ring because it would make the stick a lot better.
Because when he used to do the shtick, or the Danhausen shtick early on, the gimmick early on, he was still a wrestler, like a pure wrestler, but he was still mixing the comedy into it. But he was still a really good wrestler. But I believe he had a serious back injury, and that's what made it change into more of like, okay, he's a full-time like sideshow, like comedian role now. Like, yeah, it's because he can wrestle. I forget what his real name is. Chris Van Vliet did an interview with him, and he wasn't in character. It was just the guy. I forget what his name is, but the actual guy's name. But he was saying that he was like, because Chris Van Vliet was complimenting him on he was like, Chris Van Vliet's like, you're not just a sideshow character. He's like, you can wrestle. He's like, yeah, I can wrestle. He's like, I love this business. But he's like, me getting a couple serious injuries kind of changed that. And
that's sad.
And he's like, and the thing is, like, a lot, it's like we always talk about with like going all the way back to talking about, Ronaldo before. If Ronaldo doesn't get a serious knee injury, he's probably still playing at a high level. Like, all it takes is that one freak injury that can change the course of a whole career.
I just respect that even with that, he's able to like just bridge this gap between WWE and just pop culture in general. Where it's like, and again, that's kind of my big thing with Danhausen. Like, if you just want to get in wrestling a little bit, just watch Danhausen, man, because it's he's the amount of clips that when I started watching clips of him, I was like, he's just genius. It's just like, genius. It's stupid, but it's genius.
Like, you know what everybody, when we talk about wrestling gimmicks, right? And we talk about, like, Danhausen's gimmick is so good, but it's so funny that one of my favorite wrestling gimmick is when Sting did Joker Sting in TNA. And because
I remember showing me some of that.
Because Joker Sting was so unhinged. Like, he was still a good guy, but it was like, but he was off his rocker. Like, because Joker in the Batman movies is obviously a bad guy, he's a villain. But Sting took it where he was just as crazy as the Joker would be in a Batman movie, but for good reasons, not for bad. So like he basically was, and the thing is, so it's like I'll find more clips of that. But Joker Sting, and he did it again in AEW. And but when it's funny when he showed up on screen for the first time, and obviously his because the thing is, all Joker Sting is his regular Sting face paint, the black and white, but then just obviously the red lipstick smile over it.
Yeah.
Um and what was funny is uh when he not debuted it, but when he brought the game back for I think one or two shows for AEW, the crowd pop when he showed up on screen with the smile on his face. Everybody went nuts. Like, because it's like when you have something that works, a certain gimmick that works, like a Danhausen or like that's like, well, Sting's always worked, but like certain things work for certain guys and certain thing and then some things won't. Like Danhausen's shtick works for him, and also just because of the kind of build that he is, scrawnier, shorter.
The thing with him is that every clip I watch of Danhausen, it never stops being funny.
Yeah,
That's what impresses me the most. It never stops being funny. It never stops being entertaining. That's the best part of it for me.
like all my favorite characters throughout wrestling history, or not, I shouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them are guys that make you feel that, like, yeah, it's not real, but they make you feel like they actually have otherworldly powers, like Danhausen, obviously, but like,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
are cursed is the greatest
yeah,
gag ever.
or like,
It's so funny.
or it's like you believed that the Undertaker was a dead man. You believed that that he could literally
Yes.
go like this with his hands and the lights come up. Like you believed he had superpowers. Same thing
Right.
with or with the eyes rolling back in his head because he could do that physically. But like he made you believe that he was something not from this earth. Or even with Sting. Sting was always one of those guys where it's like originally he was like the Surfer Sting, had the bright kind of attire and all this kind of stuff. But after the movie The Crow came out, Brandon Lee, and he changed into black trench coat, black and white face paint, like dressing up like Brandon Lee's Crow. When he did that and became more of this symbolic, like ethereal kind of like character, like this, or I should say supernatural character, where it's like, he really is the Crow. He's up in the rafters at WCW looking down at wrestlers with a stare in his eyes. Like he's,
Yeah.
and like, or you would hear like, you would hear when people would know when he was in the arena, when you would hear his theme go off. And it's like, original Sting had his own theme, but WCW, it's like, or even in AEW, you would hear the squawk from the Crow. You're like, oh, it's Sting. Like,
Yeah.
it's like like these guys made you feel something because they committed to the character. So when you commit to a character, like wrestling is all about, it literally is just like in anything you do in life, what you put into it is what you'll get out.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if you commit to what you do, what your character is, the work you put into it, the time you put into it, you're gonna get a great benefit out of it. And it's like,
Yeah.
but like Danhausen's just another example of that he puts a lot of time into it. He's clever, like and it shows on screen. He's the best part basically of WWE, and I mean for the first time in probably about 15 years, WWE's had a real interesting character that is feels fresh, even though it's been done before a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's just so fresh.
I'm even like when I'm having a rough day, I'll just put on Danhausen and start laughing.
Oh yeah,
Just cackling of laughter. Cause I'm just like, this shouldn't work, but this is so genius. Just shouldn't work. It just shouldn't work at
it
all.
shouldn't.
But
Like
the delivery is perfect. The face paint is hilarious. The shirts are hilarious. His entire thing with Stephen A was the best thing Stephen A's been a part of in 20 years, maybe. Like
yeah,
it's just yeah, it's great. It's great. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, if you want to get into wrestling even a little bit, just watch Danhausen and you'll fall in love with it because it's so funny. Um like the thing when the lights went out and he grabs the thing and it's like, oh, this is all up to code and it's just all messy and crap. But it's like,
Yeah.
this is not up to code at all. You crazy. It made me cry. But yeah, I think that's all we got today. I couldn't find anything like extremely funny other than your city just blowing up. Honestly.
Which is honestly a daily occurrence at this point, but yes.
Do you want to really quick? Do you want to do all the predictions for the quarterfinals?
Yeah.
Do you want to get it out the way?
Yeah.
Before we go.
Yeah.
Okay. France, Norway, or no, France, Morocco. Jesus.
I think
by the way, I gave myself 1 point for calling Penn.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's it. But you're up by 10. You're up 86. You're up 86 to 76.
I would really have to screw it up at this point to lose, unless you just get all the scores right.
Unless I just crack this whole thing, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Or yeah, like if you get the scores right plus the team, then yeah, you get the 3 points, and I get the 1. But even then, I'm still gaining a point, so you would have to still catch up by a good bit.
I'm gonna go 4-2, France, Morocco.
I'm going to say I'm gonna go one less because France really hasn't really battered anybody in this tournament. Even though they've been winning impressively, they haven't really blown anyone out of the water. I'm gonna say 3-2 France.
Okay, 3-2. Okay. I'm writing this down. Next up, so that's Thursday at 4:00 Eastern. And then, 4:00, an hour earlier, 3:00 Eastern on Friday, Spain, Belgium.
Both teams really can't score in this tournament, but Spain is just better. And they're gonna keep possession, I think, better.
The US game aside, I've not liked Belgium this whole tournament. I just have not at all.
It's kind of just Belgium just got an easy kind of path to get here, more or less.
It feels like that, and they almost squandered it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Spain. I'll say Spain 3-1.
I am also saying Spain 3-1. All right, and then 5:00 Eastern on Saturday. We got a doubleheader on Saturday. First up, Norway, England.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. But that's man. Oh man, that one is probably the hardest game I'm gonna have to pick the rest of the tournament. Man, that one is hard.
I'm actually struggling because I still hate their back line.
So do I.
I still hate their back. I still hate England's back line so much.
And the thing is, they did struggle against Mexico, even though they did get a good lead. They got a 3-1 lead against them. They still kind of struggled at various points against Mexico, and that was Mexico. And Mexico's not better than Norway, so I don't think so.
England 2-1 extra time. England 2-1 after extra time.
I'm going to say. This might be the first time I actually do go extra time. I'm going to say England 3-2 extra time.
All right. You haven't called pens yet this tournament. I think you're waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
I think you're waiting for the right one. Okay, so we both got England extra time. Finally, this is the late one. So is this, let's see. It is 9:00 Eastern in Kansas City, Argentina and Switzerland. 4-1 Argentina. I'm sorry. This is like their easiest matchup of the tournament. I have not been impressed at all with Switzerland. I don't know what they're doing, but it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. They're only calling Switzerland's only calling card in this tournament is their defense and their goalkeeping. But you have to deal with Messi. I'm sorry. 4-1 Argentina.
I'm gonna say 4-2 Argentina because Argentina does give up goals. So
they definitely do. I don't see the Swiss stop. Let's say this is like 0-0 for 86 minutes. I could see like Messi ending that and like right away in the 90th minute. That seems to be the story of Argentina anyway this tournament.
That's fair.
Yeah, dude. Norway, England, I'm excited for. I'm really excited for France, Morocco. Morocco could pull something off. Like, we saw them in the semis 4 years ago.
They upset us.
They're still really good.
Yeah.
Belgium, I think I can't. Yeah, I'm not trusting that at all. But yeah, Norway, England's it's gonna be a fun way to start Saturday. And then Saturday we got Norway, England. Argentina, and Swiss, and then Conor McGregor.
Who does the winner of Norway, England get?
I'll let you know right now. So I'm going Max sub second round against Conor. I'll take sub. I don't trust Conor on the ground still. I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm gonna say Max. I'm gonna say Max. Oh, he's got a good chin. I'm gonna say Max TKO third round.
Okay.
Just because
I don't think Conor wins this. I really don't. That's like the one thing I can see for sure here.
I can't see how you get out of that. Pretty much, I can't see how. Because Max Holloway just doesn't like. He has, Holloway in his career is 27-13. 12 of his 27 wins have been by knockout. And he has, I believe, out of those losses, he's only been knocked out or submitted twice. Like he goes to the decision every time, even in a loss. So, and I just think McGregor's been away for too long, and Holloway does have knockout power that I think that he'll hang in for the first round, barely get through it. He'll just survive the second barely, like by a thread, and then he'll get slaughtered in the third round, get knocked out.
Yeah. Okay, so here's your matchup. So France, Morocco plays the winner of Spain, Belgium.
Ooh.
Norway, England plays the winner of Argentina and Switzerland.
Imagine how underwhelming. I mean, but imagine how underwhelming it would be if we got like Norway, Switzerland for the semis. Like, because Norway should beat the crap out of them.
I just see that France-Argentina collision course. That's what I look at here. And you know what? As much as no one's happy with Argentina and the refs, a rematch would be great. Be great. No one can. It would be great.
That's what FIFA wants.
It'd be great. I'm sorry, it'd be great.
Yeah.
The English fans are going to be fun the rest of this tournament because like there's real hope there, and honestly, with what's happening in this tournament, there's definitely hope there to bring that back home.
See, I'm just like, damn, like, is the back line for Norway going to be able to stop Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, and then but then is the back line of England going to stop Erling Haaland?
It could be a shootout. It could absolutely be one of those shootout games.
Like, damn, like that game almost feels like I think that the over under for total goals in that game is 5. Like
I can check.
It's gotta be 5. It's gotta be 5.
I'm just curious what just out of curiosity, DraftKings on ESPN. Let me see what we have here. Let's go Saturday. The 3-way is Norway plus 310. Draw, not counting extra time, is plus 270, and England is minus 115.
That's what I thought.
I don't see goals over under, but I imagine it's gigantic. Switzerland's only plus 425.
Well, you know why? Because Switzerland is still just historically just better than Cape Verde and Egypt. So
I also just think defensively they've been fantastic. How does Morocco have plus 500? I guess it is France, but like,
because it's France. If it was anybody else, it wouldn't be. But because
yeah,
it's France.
yeah. It's gonna be. I'm glad we're taking a day off tomorrow just to relax. There's been too many games.
Oh,
These last 3 weeks have
yeah,
been. I'm so glad that tomorrow
Yeah.
we're not stressing about this. And you know what? Minus Saturday, it's one game per day the rest of the way. Minus
Thank
Saturday, which
God.
thank God. Saturday is going to be a grind though, because we're going 2 games in a row, and then we're going straight to Connor. So it's going to be Saturday afternoon in tonight is going to be a grind. But yeah,
I'm excited because I'll have all day for that because I'll be in Florida, but I'll probably be at home. I'll be at the house down there relaxing. So I'll be
yeah,
watching all that stuff.
yeah. Same here. It should be fun. Well, thanks for spending 3 hours with us. At least we're not doing a show tomorrow, so we get a day off to relax. I know you're getting ready for Florida, which is why we didn't do a Wednesday show. So enjoy packing, getting some rest, and enjoying the Florida heat.
Oh, I don't have to pack that much because the thing is, when my grandparents drove down, they were like, "Hey, do you want us to take anything down while we're getting ready to leave?" I'm like, "Only a couple things went down, so I'm only just taking like, you know how like they have this new style of like the the messenger bag, like this like kind of like man bag thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just bringing this down. That's it. Just this and myself. So
That's good. Pack light.
yeah,
You're driving down, right? Are you driving?
I'm flying down, but we're driving back up.
Nice. It should be a good flight. Wish the best to Scoop and obviously everyone there. I
Yep.
know tomorrow's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
But we'll see Scoop back on Thursday. I think we're just gonna wait till he gets back fully.
Yeah.
That we can do a show with him and yell about the Yanks and whatever else he wants to yell about. We did
Yeah.
everything today, and we only have one game to cover for the World Cup on Thursday, so that should be fun. But thanks
Yeah.
for taking the time, everybody. It's fun to come on here and just shoot the crap for 3 hours and yell
Yeah.
about all these random things. It's a busy sports window. I'm excited for the World Cup to end because it's going to slow down fairly significantly for a month.
Yeah. This round of 16. This is when I really started feeling the fatigue. Where I'm like, oh God, I'm just tired now. Like,
Well, I honestly felt that with that Colombia game because it was so bad.
yeah.
Just absolute nothingness. And again, there's just way too many teams parking the bus. So it's like, oh God. Anyway, for Brandon, for Shane, thanks Shane for hopping on. It was kind of last minute. We were at Wolf Football. He's like, "Can I hop on?" Of course. Come on. Let's talk some baseball and do some stuff. But thank you all for joining us. We'll see you on Thursday. We'll let you know about timing and stuff. And yeah, have a good Wednesday off from the World Cup, and we'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.